What's up, everybody? Red Cloud Gamer here, joined as always by TheGreenSween. What's up, Sween?
What's up, man? 2 months out of work, and here we are back on the podcast. But what a better time to be back.
Yeah, welcome everybody to NSX Season 2. We had our little hiatus. We both kind of got busy, and up until recently, there wasn't too much news for us to really talk about. But we're back. We're going to make it a regular thing again, even if we have to do it after midnight all the time. I'll make him stay up.
Oh, well, that's the new plan is we're just gonna have to do it late.
Yeah, works for me.
It works for me too.
We don't want to have any more, 2 month absences. Anyone that was listening is like, damn, these guys just died. But nope, we're alive. We're back.
I mean, we could have made videos, sure, and we could have kind of stalled out, but when it came to podcasting, a lot of companies were kind of on break themselves just because E3 is coming and they kind of save some tricks up their sleeves, if you will. Not saying there wasn't news, but not news that really. We could have complained about the Skyward Sword amiibo. Let's just skip it.
Yeah. I thank you for bringing that up. Like,
You're
I
welcome.
I almost had it out of my mind, and then you had to remind me that they're locking essential game mechanics away from new gamers with a freaking amiibo, a $25 amiibo. I mean, it looks cool. It's a dope looking amiibo, but
Yeah, it is a good
uh,
looking amiibo. That's
all
about
right,
what it
you
is.
know what? Before we say anything else, I think I'm gonna throw this on here again. I know we've already seen this once before, but I'm just gonna show it again. This is the drawing I did for you. I recall there was like a deal made here. I think hey, if Red Cloud Gamer were to draw a really dope
Uh-oh.
Green Sween and Snorlax chilling, eating pizza, and playing Switch picture, then Green Sween would beat any Xbox game of Red Cloud Gamer's choice, right? Does that sound right? Does that sound familiar to you?
It's ringing a bell.
Well, we
I
just had
definitely
two
recall.
months off of the podcast, and yet Ori and the Blind Forest isn't even close to being beat. You want to explain yourself?
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, because I did get stuck at something. I had to do a little walkthrough. I'm
You got
guilty, all right?
stuck in a game that I beat the day it came out. Come on, man. You just didn't want to beat it.
I was slacking, I'll admit it, but I will say I am about halfway through based on the walkthrough. So
Halfway through.
I'm
Halfway
halfway through,
through. It's been two and a
and
half
I'm
months.
slacking.
Man, not happy with you. But
Don't forget you do got to share your screen with me as well, just so I could see what's going
did I not do that
on this.
already?
No, but that's all right. There it is.
I think I had it set before you actually got on.
Oh, look at that. There it
Yeah,
is. I
yeah.
love it.
There's the picture that you got me to do under false pretenses because you never paid your end of the deal. All right, so that's messed up, man. You're messed up. You should
Imagine you just took
you
out,
should be ashamed of
just take
yourself.
out,
You really should.
just take out, just take out the eraser, make my guy bald, take away the beard,
I think I'm just
the
gonna give him
NSX.
tits. That's what I'm gonna do.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give him some tits, bro. I mean, I'll keep the shirt on, so the NSX will be like over some big mountainous bulges, but you're getting some
Wow.
boobs next time I pull out my iPad, just so you know. And I'll
That's
do
great.
it. I've done it before. So,
That's what, you know what?
all right, you sent
I
me
know
some
you have.
captures, right? You sent me some Knockout City. Here we go. Let's get that going. Anyone that's watching has something to see instead of just our ugly cartoon mugs.
Knockout City, and a huge shout out to Velen Studios. I remember when they announced this at a Nintendo Direct that it was coming, and they were working with EA, and I heard they were from upstate New York, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're a couple hours away. Come to find out, they're only 10 minutes away from us.
Yeah, we went over that on one
Uh,
of the other podcasts, right? They're like right over the bridge.
right over the bridge. And let me tell you something. Knockout City for me and a couple of friends has been an absolute banger. I see a lot of people talking highly about it. It's definitely got some things that it could work out. I feel like the dodge mechanics got to get a little more clean. But I mean, really, for this game just at launch, it's been highly impressive.
I would love to give you some input, but I still haven't gotten around to playing it. I saw the
It's
kids
addictive.
playing. My three sons have all played. My oldest told me it's okay. My youngest two love it. So I'll give it a shot. Probably my next day off. I'll hop on and play with you.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to give it a shot. It's not free any. Or actually, you know what? They did come out on Twitter. They've been so active on Twitter. It's been fantastic. But they did come out and say that the game will be free up until level 25.
Well, then
your
I guess I
street
get to
rank.
play to level 25, no problem.
I thought that was cool. I thought it's cool that, you get essentially a demo for the game, but you get also progression.
Yeah, it's always
And
nice when any kind of demo or beta carries its progression over to the final product.
you can see there's like a decent amount of customization. You can unlock some things.
Your character looks way cooler than you do. Everyone that's like gonna watch this, that's watching this now, that's listening, whatever, look at his picture. Like that's a very accurate representation that I drew of him right there. He he looks way less cool than this character he created.
You should see. I have another one where it's like more authentic to how I look in real life. I don't know. I think I do use it on this.
So
We'll get to it
so he
eventually,
looks a
I'm
bit of a
sure.
nerd then. All right, cool. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
mine would
yeah.
too. Mine would too. I'm not just picking on you. All right, I'll
No,
pick
I
on me.
agree.
All right, that's what's awesome about video games. We can be much cooler people than we are in real life. So,
Absolutely. You can see you
that's
got like
obviously
this.
something you've been playing lately. Or anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah. So I mean, I have been playing a good amount of games. It's been 2 months, obviously. Pokemon Snap came out. I played a lot of Pokemon Snap. Monster Hunter Rise is still getting some love. But I had some goals to beat some Zelda games and to really catch myself up in the Pokemon series. I zoomed through the first four Pokemon games. I jetted through Blue, Silver, Sapphire, and then Diamond. And then I played Pokemon Y. I played through that for the first time. Great game, by the way. I really, really like Pokemon Y.
Now we know that you just
Uh,
missed one, right?
yeah, I still gotta. Pokemon Black is tough. Emulators don't work great on my phone. I should probably download one on my computer, but I am not gonna pay the money for Black right now. Black and White. I'm all right. Um,
Yeah, it's a
you wanna?
fairly expensive title. So
It's pricey, and I've tried to run the emulators, and one of my friends was like, "Well, use Poke MMO." Well, I want to have a fair perspective because Poke MMO takes every region and it applies the same mechanics. You know what I mean? So my Pokemon can follow me in that game, but obviously it can't really do that in Black and White. Like I want to know every aspect of that game. And then I've been playing Ocarina of Time on the DS without a walkthrough. And
yeah,
this
like all of us
game,
that played it when it was brand new, played it.
I know, and it's hard. Even as an adult, it's hard.
Agree
I'm
to
having
disagree.
fun with it though. I am, whatever. Because I already beat it 10, 20 times.
No, it's
This
it's
is
one of
co-
my
this
favorite games of all time.
this
Ocarina
is
was
coming from the
amazing when it
guy.
first came out.
This is coming from the guy who beat Ganon on somebody else's file when they didn't even beat Ganon themselves and pissed off one of their family members.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
It's a great story. I love that story.
Yeah, you
But
know you kind of breezed over Pokemon Snap, which I know we had planned to do like an actual episode back then, and
right.
both of us just got too busy. I just wanted to throw in my own little Pokemon Snap story, even though I still have yet to play it. I did buy it right away, and I've been trying to get the missus to play some more games with me because we used to game together a decent amount, and she's like stopped really liking games like that. So I bought It Takes Two, if you remember that, came out Hazelight Studios, the like has to be co-op game.
Yes.
And I've been trying to get her to play it, but she seems to have no interest. She's like, I'm not a gamer. I don't play games. So then, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I'm sitting here playing a game. She's like, I'm bored. What should I do? I'm like, oh, well, I got Pokemon Snap over there. Dude, she sunk like 100 hours into it in the next week. And she works too. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I beat it. I saw every Pokemon. I got all the pictures. I did all the 4-star
Yeah.
stuff. I went everywhere.
Jeez, I didn't do the full. I did the full decks. I didn't do the 4 stars. I thought it was a great game. I thought the visuals and the routes were clever. Uh, the only thing I really wasn't too big of a fan of was the choices of Pokemon. I thought they could have went. Let's face it, it's Pokemon Snap. This is a game that appeals to the older market.
People
I
that
mean,
played
yes,
Pokemon Snap 20 years ago.
20 years ago, there was nothing in between. You know what I mean? There's no excuse to not show generations 1 through 4 a lot more love. And I just feel like they didn't balance it as well as I would have liked, but it was still a great game and it doesn't take away. Every map at least had a handful of Pokemon that I enjoyed seeing in the game. So I can't complain.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
have to
great
get
game.
around to playing it. I planned to, and she was on it and wouldn't share. So
And of
now that
course,
she's done, I'll give it a shot.
I put a lot of hours into Knockout City early. I'll tell you what, it's my second most played game on my Mario Red Switch, to give you a good perspective of that.
All right.
And number one is Monster Hunter Rise, believe it or not.
I expected that, actually.
Yeah.
You were like diehard on that when it first came out.
So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at in progression of because I said I was gonna play a good amount of Zelda games, Ocarina of Time, obviously. I played Age of Calamity, and I've played Breath of the Wild, obviously, since then. Nothing too crazy, obviously. I'm waiting for the DLC
That's
for
actually
that.
soon. That's next month.
And then when I beat Ocarina, I want to beat Ultra Sun, and then I want to do Majora's Mask, and then I want to do Alpha Sapphire.
All right.
Also, I got a lot of retro games, but that's definitely for another time. My collection has bolstered up entirely, and I definitely want to do a lot of content revolving around some older games.
Yeah, you've called me a couple times after you left the different stores around here, letting me know what you hauled in.
Yeah,
I got another
definitely.
guy at work that's buying a lot of retro games. He tells me every Saturday we typically work together, and he's always telling me what games he got. He's really into it, especially GameCube stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, GameCube just had so many great games, and like when you have something like a Wii, I've even went for some lower budget games. Like I got Nicktoons MLB, and I'll tell you, it's a lower budget game, but I got it.
Did I just
You
see
know,
you
I
pick
just
up one of your teammates as a ball?
yes, that is a thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try this.
This game
I'm
is
gonna try this
absolutely
game.
crazy. The concept is just brilliant.
It looks fun. I'm watching your footage right now. It looks solid.
Definitely, and
I might get into it.
I'll, t- I'll tell you what, I gotta say, Velen Studios just did phenomenal, and I think Mario Home Circuit was a really great idea too. So between this and Home Circuit, they're on a roll, and to see a local game company around here have success, it's just a really great thing. I mean, I've supported this game from day one. I remember when they came out with the beta, and I gave it a shot, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And now, I'll tell you, Aqua is tearing this game up. Every time I play with him, he's the MVP. It's
What are
insane.
you playing on here?
I'm playing on the Switch. Definitely noticeable next to an Xbox.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a go.
Docked, it's not too bad. I'm really not. It's definitely manageable on the Switch, and hopefully, with the latest rumors, we won't have to worry about things like that for too much longer.
Yeah, that's something we're definitely gonna talk about today.
Yes, we are
Uh,
tonight.
so I mean it's
So, what have you been playing? Tell me, because you kind of went on a surge the last couple of weeks. You were talking about being a little low on one of your goals.
yeah, I set the gaming resolution at I'm gonna beat 12 games this year, average one for every month. And then I beat one right away. We said it on the podcast. I think the 10th or 11th of January, I had beat South Park and the Stick of Truth. And then I found myself, like, I don't know, a month ago or 3 weeks ago, realizing I hadn't beat anything since. So I was kind of behind. I ran through Hitman 1, and I normally wouldn't count Hitman 1 because it is a fairly short game, but I played through every mission and got all the Silent Assassin, Master Assassin trophies. So I'm going to count it. It took like 30 hours. I
Yeah.
finally finished Mafia 3. I ran through A Way Out with a friend of mine, something I meant to play years and years ago when it first came out. That's the other Hazelight Studios game where you have to play with a partner. And then I actually just started Mafia Definitive Edition last week, and I finished it I think I told you I finished it like 2 days ago. Actually, probably the
Yeah.
best story in the Mafia series, if I'm being honest. It was really fun.
Right.
Much more linear game than 3. 3 is a really like Grand Theft Auto open world kind of game, and Mafia 1 has that, but the main story mode is actually a very linear, like pushes you mission to mission kind of game.
Right.
And other than that, you know me, I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty.
A
Uh,
lot of Call of Duty. Was
yeah,
just doing a
they.
little bit of Easter eggs beforehand.
Excuse me.
You
Yeah, I'm
said.
pretty mad about the Easter egg, but I'll get back on and get it done. They added another Easter egg, and this time it's in the Outbreak mode. I'm not a massive fan of the Outbreak mode. It is fun, but you know me, I like zombies, and it kind of bores me when you're trying to play zombies and it takes forever to find zombies, which does happen sometimes in Outbreak. But I got to get the Easter egg done, so I was playing through right before we did the podcast, and everything was going smoothly. I was on like the second to last step, and then the guy I was playing with made a simple mistake and ended up going down, lost all his perks, and then trying to save him, I ended up going down, lost all my perks, and then we died. And I wasn't happy, but I'm much better at handling my gaming anger, so I didn't throw nothing. I didn't rage and break my controller, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
get back on probably tomorrow after work.
Nice.
But Maddie was supposed to play, and he bailed to play Sea of Thieves, and yeah, I'm gonna kick his ass when I see him. So,
I got that downloaded. I do have that downloaded on my Xbox. One thing I did want to point out, another goal you did have, which, despite me doing bad on my Ori, and one of your goals was to get the green screen on the green console a little bit more. And I will say, looking in May, I am definitely there. I have played NHL, I've played Madden, I've played geez, what else? I mean, technically a little bit of Ori. I played Skate 3. I played Skate 3 for a decent amount the other day, believe it or not. Halo Master Chief Collection. I've been on that a decent amount.
you know what I gotta get you on, and I haven't
What's
played
that?
in a while myself. I was just talking to the missus about it today. We gotta play Grounded. I think it's almost up to its final version, so we gotta hop in and
Yeah,
play
yeah,
some Honey
yeah.
I Shrunk the Kids, the video game.
I remember seeing that and really enjoying the footage. You know what's one game I'd also like to play with you? I don't know if it's on Game Pass still, and it's a 360 game. I think you could play it online still. I haven't played this game in forever. Army of Two.
I know it's part of EA Access, so if you have Game Pass Ultimate, then it's there.
Nice.
I'm not sure if the online servers are still on for that though. I feel like I remember them getting turned off. I could be wrong.
Gotcha.
One of my
Gotcha.
one of
I
my
remember
favorite
playing that.
IPs from that generation. It was really dope.
Yeah, it was a great game. Really, it was.
Yeah, really fun. I liked you know decking out your guns. I liked the aggro meter where you could like get all the enemies to just fight you while your partner kind of flanked around and did some damage.
The teamwork was great. The strategizing as a team, it really utilized that very well. It did what it was supposed to do, you know?
Yeah, and I liked that the campaign was clearly designed for two people. So one thing I used to hate back in like the PS2 generation was a lot of games that allowed you to play two players through a campaign. It was clearly like Halo. It was only one person. It was only Master Chief. The second player was just like a clone that happened to be running around with you. So it was nice to see Army of Two had like a story that was written for both players. So there was
Right.
interaction there. It was pretty cool.
Absolutely. So COD, everything like that. Yeah, I mean the only other games I've been playing, obviously, not Knockout City, and I guess I beat Donkey Kong Country twice now.
Oh, Tropical Freeze or the original?
I beat the original one, and then dude, I think I'm on the last stage for Donkey Kong Country 2, which I never beat as a kid. So
Oh, nice,
that's really exciting.
nice.
With all this Donkey Kong Country hype, I did get Tropical Freeze because it was on sale at GameStop the other day. I had a $10 coupon, and it was down to 40. So I'm like, I'll take half off on it before we get a new Donkey Kong game, hopefully, which we'll
Man,
talk about again.
that was back when Rare was like the go-to studio for Nintendo. Like the
Donkey
Donkey
Kong
Kong
Country.
Country games. Then um, they went in with the 64. They did like Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, Banjo Kazooie, like
Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Kong 64. They just
Those games were just
I
top of
remember
the
it was such
line.
a big deal when Microsoft bought them. Like I was just getting an Xbox back then, and people were like blown away that Nintendo's like premier game studio was gonna belong to Microsoft.
And I really like what they did with Sea of Thieves. I still stand by Sea of Thieves. It's one of my favorite Xbox One games. I mean, it really is.
But it's a game that came out and it was really it had a lot of cool ideas, but it was, in my opinion, really lackluster amount of content. But they stuck to it.
Absolutely.
They kept adding stuff, and little by little, it got better and better. A bunch of my friends play it regularly now.
Well, the
I
thing about
myself
Sea
never
of
got
Thieves
too
is
into it, but I'm gonna
you
give it
need
a
a
shot.
team. You need a team. You can't play Sea of Thieves. I feel like not even you could. I guess you could play with two people. I feel like you need at least three to really have the experience of Sea of Thieves. We used to run four all the time. So
Yeah, I never really had any of my regular friends on to play. Like, I don't mind playing some games with random people, but a game like that that's really about communication, camaraderie, and just having fun with your friends. It
Yeah,
needs to be people I know. I can't be
it's
just
a
playing with randoms, especially when you get put in a game with someone that doesn't have a microphone. Or,
it's a social experience. It really is, and
yeah,
it's a big part of it. It's a big part of it.
it's Rare's like gaming Facebook. It's just their instant messenger with their own humor in it. It,
Right.
it was fun. I played a little. Matt, and Sean, they played a lot more than me. But with as much as I work, I don't have as much time to game as I used to. So if a game doesn't really like capture me right away, it's probably something I'm not going to play very much. I know I am
Right.
trying right now to pick what my next game to beat is going to be. I know Ratchet and Clank is going to be on the list. It comes out in 10 or 11 days.
Yeah, and it
Um,
looks phenomenal.
yeah,
It
it
looks
really does.
phenomenal.
You know what? We can talk about systems and console manufacturers, power discrepancy, and whatnot. You can tell me how much better this system is than that one, and I know that the Series X is the more powerful system, but that will never change the fact that Sony has some of the greatest developers on the planet, and they've always impressed you. Going back to PS1, PS2, like Sony developers have always made games that punch above their weight.
Sure have.
You know,
Absolutely.
and Ratchet and Clank, despite the fact that the PS5, as people say, is only 10 teraflops, it looks better than anything I see on my Series X at 12 teraflops. And that's not a knock on Xbox. You know me, I prefer my Xbox, but right now Microsoft has yet to give me something that looks that damn good.
Right.
But that's going to be my next game after whatever I start playing tomorrow. I gotta play something else. I want to play through It Takes Two. I gotta just force the missus to play. Just like, listen, we're playing it. You have no say in the matter anymore.
Like you got to read the title. It says it takes two. I
Yeah,
can't play without you.
yeah. Seriously, It Takes Two. It
And
takes
it
two.
does. So yeah, I mean, and like I said, playing through the Pokemon games, and I've even expanded. I don't know if you have the image that I sent you.
Oh, hang
Well, that
on. You did send me your new set. Well, your before and after setup, right?
yeah,
So let's throw that on the screen real quick. Anyone on YouTube can see this right now. So you've added some Pokemon and Nintendo related content to your little gaming corner in your house.
yep.
Yeah, it's nice to see
So
it coming together. I like the Pokemon Megastop standee over there.
and I had the wooden shelf there, and the way I saw it is I got that for $50, and I had an extra copy of Double Dash. I saw it at GameStop pre-owned, and I had a coupon for 20% off. I got Double Dash for $30. I traded that and $50 for it. I was like, I could go buy $120 shelf from Walmart, or I could just get this stand that is just so sick. I mean,
Yeah,
where else are you gonna find it,
only at your house. That's it.
And that's it. And you could see I hung out the posters. We're gonna get the Bowser's Fury poster up
I
there
do see
soon.
the
We gotta.
posters up there. Yeah, what did you ever do with those coins?
They're you can't even see them on the picture. They're sitting right here. I want to hang them up also. I got to get a nail in the wall and hang them up under the pictures. That's what I was thinking.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see that you've added a lot of stuff.
it's definitely been expanded. You can't even see it's hard to see in the background with the Snorlax section, but my girlfriend for my birthday got me a limited Snorlax and Eevee team like a I don't know how you'd say it, like a tin, I guess, with the 3 packs and everything like that.
Oh, that's
And it
dope.
comes with
Yeah, I can
because
see
her
them sitting
favorite
there on the
Pokemon's
desk.
yeah, her favorite Pokemon's Eevee's, mine's Snorlax, and they only had three
A lot
Pokemon
of
for the
people really
teams.
like Eevee. Eevee was
Yeah,
originally supposed to be the main Pokemon from Red and Blue,
right.
and
I
then
mean,
just the test audience liked Pikachu more. So there you go.
I remember the first time I saw a bunch of Pokemon plush, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get her a quick plush. And I was looking at the Pokemon, and I'm like, ah, she's bound to like Eevee. And from there, I guess yeah, she just liked Eevee.
Good. Yeah,
So
it's
to
nice to
see
see that
Eevee and
you're adding some stuff,
Snorlax,
man. It's really
it
nice
was
to see you adding
perfect.
some stuff.
Also, by the photo, I don't know if you can tell, you could see a red box by where the photo is, where my Joy-Con, the attachments are. That red box is the Mario 35 pin anniversary set, and it is gorgeous.
Oh, nice. You get that
I did, I did,
from the Nintendo Reward stuff?
I grinded my challenges, man. I got so many cool things from the Nintendo reward program. Just because I do the Mario run, I get like 60 coins a week, and I stack my coins, smart. I got like a Pokemon Ziploc bag for Snap. I got photos that I've actually taken in Snap pretty much. It's just all cool.
Yeah, that's really dope. I know you were upset that you couldn't get the Target exclusive pre-order bonus. I tried to get one for
Magnetic
you,
Frank.
but when I went on, it was already sold out. So that was
It's fine.
no
I
go for
actually
me.
got the poster. I gotta really put that. That's the one thing I gotta work on next with what you're looking at is I gotta get some photos behind that Mega Stop, but like not Snorlax because we got so much Snorlax shit right there. I'm thinking we just gotta balance it out with some normal Pokemon photos, and the Snap one would be great to put in a frame, put up there. It's a process.
That it is. I mean, me myself, I'd probably whiten those walls and then paint like a nice Snorlax mural up there. Like you just expand that picture of your curtains more.
Yeah, we'll see what the landlord says. I'll run it by them real
I'm
quick.
not telling them nothing. As long as you paint it white when you leave, they can't say nothing about you painting your walls however the hell you want.
I'm leaving it there for the next person. You're welcome.
Just nice. Just throw some wallpaper over it, and then they end up taking it down. Like, hey, we should just run with this.
Absolutely.
It looks great. Yeah, let's.
Right?
It is nice to see that your setup is coming along. Now we just
Thanks,
got to
man.
get you with a decent monitor instead of using your laptop screen.
It's just gradual steps, and we got the look for it.
Well, I know
Now we
you were
just gotta
talking to
get.
me about the monitor not long ago, so I know it's something
Yeah,
you're looking into. Hopefully, we see a decent deal on a good setup.
yeah. I just want to get the right thing for the right price. What I'm looking for personally, you know what I mean? And
No, absolutely.
sometimes
I mean, you're
you
not
got to be
someone that's gonna be on
particular.
your computer and like gaming hardcore every day or something. So you just need something that has a decent refresh rate and a little bit bigger than a laptop monitor. You know,
Right? Because
something
I'm,
like a
I'm
nice
like
little 24-inch computer monitor. We'll find one for a good price.
absolutely. We will, and that's it. It's just patience. Patience is
I've
key.
probably seen one before and just completely forgot to mention it to you because I was so busy at work.
Right. It happens.
I'm telling you this. I'm watching your footage. You die a lot, man.
Hey, I'm aggressive. What can I say?
Well, now you're being carried around like a little baby,
Watch this. If you charge it, oh, you threw me at the
and now
ceiling.
you got thrown against the wall like a cat. What the hell is
I
that?
know. Oh no, Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury all over again.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on.
Yes.
You sent me a list of the categories that you were thinking, and I
Sonic
really liked it.
Central.
So Sonic Central brief overview. Here it goes. It sucked. All right, let's move on. uh,
It was disappointing.
I mean, you know
Oh,
what? It was always going to be disappointing because you and me both want Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remastered or Sonic Adventure 3, and for some reason, Sega decided that they don't ever want to make money again, so they're not doing that. But it was still
I
disappointing anyway. They didn't show anything that I was really like, oh my god, I have to have that.
the
And the
crossovers.
the little brief Sonic 2022 for new systems, that felt so much like the Sonic the Hedgehog reveal for 360 way back, and that game was
Oh,
terrible. That's the exact vibe I got. Now I saw something since then that supposedly the game is gonna be like an open world taking some cues from Breath of the Wild. That's not what Sonic is supposed to be. Can you just make Sonic Adventure 3, guys? That's all you have to do.
please.
Take
You know,
Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and update that gameplay for today. Especially, one thing I would really love, Sega makes multi-platform games, obviously now they don't make their own consoles. And one thing that's never really been conveyed very well in 3D games, I think, is a sense of like real speed. And it's because of how fast we load games in. But now that we've got these new systems that are loading at 2 and 4 and 5 and 10 gigabytes a second, the speed at which you can stream worlds in and make characters move significantly faster through, I would love to see Sonic moving so fast that I can barely even make out the world.
Like I look at what Ratchet and Clank's doing. Could you imagine Sonic running like at a speed that would just run so fast it's a blue light and then you're in another world?
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty much what I'm talking about. Like, if you were to hand Insomniac Ratchet and Clank, they would give you, or I mean, if you were to hand them Sega or Sonic, they would give you the best Sonic game ever. They would make Sonic Adventure better.
Just hand them Sega at this point. I mean, geez, please.
I mean, at the same time, no, because I really like Ratchet and I really like Spider-Man, and I don't want them to do anything else until they finish the next Spider-Man game. And I'm dying to get Ratchet on my PlayStation. So
Did you see how quick that switch was? My controller died, and I just got to the Joy-Cons within 5 seconds, and I'm right back in the action. Look at that catch. Unbelievable.
you let your
Mangy
controller
catch.
die, noob,
I know.
noob. Really
It
though, the
was like I
Sonic
was
thing sucked,
reloading.
man. The Sonic thing
It,
sucked.
it did.
I was
It did. And
nothing but disappointed.
so,
Like there
Sonic
wasn't anything out
Colors.
of it that I was like, oh man, that looked really cool.
If you guys are watching this and you have the minute after this podcast, look up the Sonic Olympics crossover. It is one of the ugliest things I'd ever seen in my
I'll tell
life,
you
to
what,
be
if you're
honest with you.
enjoying the podcast, we don't even mind. Pause right now and go watch it. Come back. It's okay. You're gonna agree with us. It was terrible.
Welcome back. Sorry to disappoint you from watching that Sonic.
I'm sorry that we sent you to that, but
Yeah,
you know,
don't listen to us
we
again
we
on
were
that.
forced to see it, so you were forced to see it too.
Sonic, we don't know the name of the game. 2022. Apparently, they're saying Sonic Rangers or something
Yeah, that's
like
what
that.
I saw. Sonic Rangers. Someone put out like a press release that had the name on it. Apparently, it was supposed to be like kept secret. You know, if you're keeping your name secret, maybe keep your game secret too. Just don't show it to me again.
Yeah.
Just give me Sonic
the-
Adventure 1 and 2 HD remastered, and don't ever make anything else that you thought about making again. Because whoever is coming up with the ideas at the Sonic team, until you prove me wrong, you suck. Just
I think
so
I
you
think
know.
the thing I was most hyped about didn't even really like they didn't show anything about it. What's the or the series coming to Netflix? Sonic you got to know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what this is. No,
They're coming out
I
with a
know what you're
Netflix
talking about. I
series.
don't remember the
They
title.
they've just showed so little I can't even think of it offhand,
Yeah, I mean,
to be
we
honest.
had kind of heard about that before, that Netflix was in production on a Sonic series, and then of course we've got the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie coming, which I kind of thought we might have seen a
Saw
little bit at
something.
the Sonic
Something.
Central, because last I checked, that's like early next year. I think April next year it says.
April 8th. April 8th
Yeah, so I thought we would have
is the
gotten like a
expected
little
date, yeah.
teaser. I really enjoyed the Sonic movie. I saw it in theaters twice, so took advantage
Sonic
of that
Prime.
that
Sonic
Regal
Prime for
Pass.
Netflix. That's what it is, Sonic Prime.
I mean, I'll trust you if you're saying that's what it is. It sounds about right.
I Googled it. I'm not
Oh.
going to lie to everybody here. I had to
Well, then I'm
Google
not
it.
even going to
Sorry,
trust
guys.
you. I'm going to trust Google.
Yeah, no, there's trustworthy more than me right now. But that was, I mean, I like Sonic Colors animated series. Who asked for that?
I mean,
Please.
someone at the Sonic team. I don't know.
I don't know. No, they didn't.
I just want to pretend that none of this is true. That they're just working on Sonic Adventure 3, and everything else has been like a fake announcement to trick us. Little bait and switch last minute. They'll be like, "Hey, all that stuff we showed you, no, we were just playing. Here's Sonic Adventure 3, guys."
I'll give them credit for one thing and one thing only is the fact that Sonic Colors will be a $40 title and not a $60 title. And at least they're not trying to be selfish and charge this as a $60 game.
Yeah, agreed.
I personally
I'm
don't
tired
think
of
I'll get
seeing
it for
stuff like
40.
that.
I don't think I'll get it for 40 even still. I'll wait for it to go on sale probably, and maybe I'll give it a shot because I really don't have an impression of the game, to be truthful with you. It came out on the Wii and the DS. I never tried it.
Yeah, I'm not really a
But
big
I'm not
fan of
happy.
seeing like re-released games end up getting a full price tag unless there's some sort of like legitimate remastering or content addition to. You know me, I've complained that Skyward Sword HD is going to be $60. I'm complaining even more now that it's apparently going to be 85 if you'd like to be able to fast travel. I hope that a lot of people that do get this game refuse to buy that amiibo, just because I don't want the precedent set to show game developers like, hey, yeah, you can start locking essential components of gameplay behind $20 purchases and we're fine with it. I
It's
don't want them
absurd.
getting that impression. I want them to know that we're not okay with it. I'm still buying
No.
the game. I am damn sure not buying the amiibo.
You're buying the game. I don't think I'm buying the game at this point, and I want to,
I am too
but
big of a Zelda fan to not buy it. I mean, even if I don't play a Zelda game, I have to own it.
I get it.
I mean, Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past are two of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely loved what I did play of Breath of the Wild, but you know me, I'm just not as big on the Switch. We're hoping that there's something to answer my complaints about the Switch's resolution and performance coming soon. We will be, I believe that's about 2 topics away.
Yep.
But
sir.
yeah, I love the Zelda series. I always have. I honestly think it's probably Nintendo's best franchise. Always pushes the envelope. Always impresses me. Can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever the final name is going to be on it. I even liked Link's Awakening, the remake with the kind of chibi style that they're using for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, or Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl, or whichever one is which. It's Diamond and Pearl. That's all I'm gonna call them.
I'm not a fan of it in Diamond and Pearl, but I'm accepting it because of what's actually in production for Pokemon. So
I actually like it in Diamond and Pearl as well. Like, I mean, I would have preferred like a full on, graphical and graphically incredible game, but like you said, there is something in production for that, and I don't think it needs to be that anyway. Um,
I agree.
Pokemon has never been a game that blew you away graphically, never.
No.
Like, honestly, the most impressed I've ever been with Pokemon graphics is Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't really expect something incredible. As long as they really pull in the exact same, story and gameplay hook that they had, I'm gonna be happy with it.
Which they will. I'm sure they will.
So I guess we should move off of Sonic, because until they make Sonic Adventure 3, I just don't give a damn.
You couldn't have just gave us the animated series as Adventure. Like, god damn, give me some hope for E3 that you just somehow make it you guys.
I'm gonna keep this muted and just throw it up for anyone that is watching on YouTube and wants to see what we're talking about. But now we're gonna see pretty much the most impressive thing I've seen as far as next gen games come. PlayStation logo, PlayStation Studios. You already know what this is. It's the sequel to my 2017 Game of the Year, Horizon Zero Dawn. So Horizon Forbidden West got its own state of play. Just throwing the stats out there, it's already the most watched state of play ever. It blew away all the state of plays before that. I think that's indicative of the interest in the game as well as just the interest in PlayStation right now. I mean, they really can do no wrong as far as consumers are concerned. It did say that this was captured on a PS5 and that it's a mix of gameplay and cinematics. They didn't say like how much was real-time cinematics and how much was like like purposefully crafted. I don't want to say CG. I don't think they use that really, but I'd like to know how much of it is real-time. It looks incredible.
It really does.
It does. And I mean, Horizon 1 looked incredible. I remember playing it on my PS4 Pro and just being like, dude, I don't know how this is possible. This game looks beyond anything I had seen to that point. And now this makes it look like it wasn't even really looking that good to begin with. So, I can't wait for this. I am a little bit upset that we didn't get a release date. I was really hoping that this initial trailer would have came with a release date. Hopefully in the September, October, November, December area of this year. They had initially said that this was targeting 2021, but so was Gran Turismo, and now we know that got pushed to 2022. So I'm a little bit concerned if maybe COVID or any other developmental issues might have pushed this out of 2021. I really would have liked at least a target window, like a holiday, something. But there you go. Yeah. You got gameplay going right now, and it's just, the foliage, the running water. I don't know if you actually played through Horizon or played any of it before.
No.
Water was actually like kind of a negative visual element of the game. Like it's not that it looked bad, but it looked out of place because the game looked really good and the water just looked okay. And the water in this, every time you see it, when she goes under it, when she's near the beach and you see it. I don't know what you would say, like like the waves cascading on the beach. It looks incredible. I don't know how much of this is like ray traced. They didn't really say, but ray traced or not, it could just be screen space reflections, and I'm blown away.
Even the detail in the way her hair moves as she's walking and it bounces when she's walking down a hill. It's the detail, the attention to detail is just incredible when you watch a game like this. I do want to call out the haters. I've been on Twitter and I've been noticing a couple people like posting pictures of her face zoomed in
Oh, fat Aloy. They're complaining that she
next
put
to
some weight on.
well, but they're like posting no, they're posting her picture next to like a picture of a girl's face with makeup, and they're like they just don't know how to make a female face, a female character. I'm like, dude, you're posting this chick next to a girl with makeup. She's not wearing makeup. This is a badass motherfucking warrior. She's here to kick some ass. She's not here to get dolled up and go out with her gals. She's here to shoot a bow at some monsters' goddamn faces. She's here to shred the metal.
Yeah, I see a lot of complaints. People complain about her face structure. It is noticeable that like her jawline and her cheeks look more full than they were in the first game. It's like, oh man, what's she been eating since the first game? But like, I'm
She's
not gonna
eating these
complain about
monsters
someone's.
alive.
Uh,
No.
I'm not gonna complain about someone's creative design on their game. Like they made this. I think it looks great. Is it noticeable that her cheeks are a little more full? Yeah. Is that a problem? No. I
Right.
like
And
hair.
like,
As long as the
what are
game is
people
awesome, I
making a
love this.
problem?
That she has this, this focus thing that most games have. Like a detective mode kind of thing. And the climbing mechanics, the ledges are all tied into it, so they don't get highlighted until you hit the focus. One complaint that dive into the water was great, but one
I
complaint
know,
people had
insane.
on the first game was that the climbing ledges were like too clearly marked. There was just these bright yellow lines everywhere you went. So now that they're hidden throughout normal gameplay, and then they show up when you use your focus, I think that's pretty cool. I am a little bit interested into how the hell she's swimming under the water like this. I didn't see her put nothing on her face, but she like stays under the water for a minute and a half, and I'm like, yeah, I would have died already. Like I don't know if there's gonna be like a breathing mechanic or if she just has some sort of device that can make it so she can stay down there. Look at this. Look at her hair moving in the water.
Insane.
Like, yeah,
The
I'll
visuals.
tell you one thing that actually really interests me though. This is a cross-gen game. This has been confirmed for PS4 already. And looking at it on PS5, I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't know what the PS4 version is gonna look like. There's a lot of geometric detail that I don't think the PS4 can handle.
I was
Like,
gonna say, do you feel like we're heading in the era where we're gonna see more and more games just released for the Series X or the PS5? I feel like more so with the PS5 because Xbox does a really good job of keeping everybody together. But
yeah, well, I mean, Microsoft doesn't want to abandon their generation, and they're trying to tell people that you're still safe to buy an Xbox One or One S. And because the Series S is out, there's always going to be like less of a power gap between the One X and the Series S than there is between the PS4 and the PS5. So it's a little bit easier to keep that going. And of course, they push all of their games to Windows, which have a very uh, broad amount of components and potential configurations. So it's a little bit easier for them to keep a game everywhere. And there's pros and cons to both. If you look at Ratchet and Clank, as impressed as I am with the attention to detail in this game, most people would agree that Ratchet and Clank actually looks better than this because it is a PS5 exclusive. There's nothing designed for the PS4. And this looks like a really amazing game, but you can see spots that are definitely bound by their PS4 architecture that's underlying them.
when I saw the city when they showed the Ratchet and Clank state of play and they walk into the city with all the cars flying around like the heavy traffic,
Yeah, incredible.
I was blown away. It's one of the best environments I've ever seen in any video game. I don't care what the graphic style is. That
Yeah, I
was
mean,
my
Insomniac has always been great with their visuals. Ratchet looked great on PS2 when it first came out. I know today it doesn't, but like back then compared to other games, we were like, "Oh wow, this looks really good." And then I remember I had one of the Ratchets for PS3, and the box art had some magazine or website or whatever that said that it was as close as we had come to Pixar in game, and that was still on PS3. Now I feel like they're there. I feel like Ratchet has actually reached Pixar in game, and this still looks incredible. But like I said, there is stuff that I wish I would see a little bit more movement with like the foliage responding to her more than just she's walking through it so it moves. Like actually physically simulated movement would be a little bit better. but I don't really know what their engine really does, being it's based on PS4 again. I like seeing the improvements they made to the gameplay of this. Like,
Ooh.
I got Horizon right when it came out. It was, I want to say, 4 or 5 days before the Wii came out. And I loved it. I played right through it. I got the Platinum Trophy. Uh, just in case anyone from Gorilla ever hears this, I never got my exclusive Aloy theme that I was supposed to get from my PS4 guys for getting
Come on,
that Platinum
Gorilla.
Trophy. So,
Come on.
yeah, hit me up in the DMs and I'll give you my my PlayStation account. You can see that I have the trophy and you can give me my free theme, even though now I have a PS5. But
Hashtag free theme.
I
Oh
I
my god.
remember when it came out, there was a review, I don't remember where, but it was talking about how Sony had essentially spent 20 years trying to deliver a game that was as good or better than every major title that Nintendo had offered. And the one genre that had always, been too elusive for them was, I mean, not genre, but the one game they couldn't compete with was Zelda. They were always trying. There was always like a Dark Cloud, which I loved, but it just didn't hold up. And they always felt like even when they got close to Zelda, they were still a few steps behind. And then when Horizon came out, it was like they finally did it. They finally made their Zelda killer, and the only problem is Breath of the Wild comes out and changes the game in 5 days. So seeing this right now on screen, where she's using this
Oh
holographic
yeah.
hand glider, that's clearly something they looked at Breath of the Wild and said, okay, this is something people really liked. How can we incorporate something like this into this game? And earlier in the gameplay, you saw her in the middle of combat. She hit someone with her staff and then quickly transitioned to the bow and shot them. And it just looks much better, much more fluid, much deeper gameplay than the first. And the first already had fluid and deep gameplay, so it's really impressive to know that they didn't just sit on their laurels and say, hey, this worked, let's just make this again. They were like, all right, let's take everything people loved, turn it up, and add in stuff people asked for. I'm watching the footage right now, and I gotta stop because it's like it's messing up my conversation with you because I'm really just
Yeah.
taken back by how good it looks.
It does look very impressive. I really hope we see a lot more of this at Summer Game Fest.
I'm actually anyone watching this that enjoys this footage, you can obviously go on YouTube and look up Horizon Forbidden West. Sony has this footage up. Gorilla has this footage up. IGN has this footage up. I'm sure every other major game website has this footage up. Check it out yourself in full audio. Hopefully not on a phone. Watch it on a TV where you can really see what it looks like. But I'm gonna cut it because it's definitely distracting the hell out of me. So we're back to your knockout footage.
There he is. The
Uh,
green, the sween.
yeah, I can go ahead and say like Horizon is one of the reasons people are buying a PS5. Like, Sony gives people uh, the best single player exclusives. It's been true for a long time. They're single player exclusives. They're Spider Man. They're Last of Us. They're Uncharted. They're God of War, Bloodborne, Horizon, Ratchet and Clank. These are all among like the best games of the years, of the generation, of all time. So it's a reason to have it, and I'm looking forward to it. I just wish they would have given us a release date. I was really confident when they initially said 2021 because the original rumor was that they were targeting the first half of 2021, and now I'm worried that maybe it's not only not in the second half of 2021, it might have fallen in 2022, and that'll suck. Even though I'm sure Sony will give us a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you want to move off of Horizon? I believe your sixth topic that you had. You want to get back onto some GreenSween topics, right?
Oh boy.
So
This one's a wild one.
we've seen some rumors pop up, right?
Some big rumors.
Yeah, we had me and you had independently discussed it and said that we expected to see the not the successor to the Switch, but like the revised Switch, a la the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, show up at E3. And then, what was it, 5 days ago or so, 4 days ago,
something
that
like that.
Bloomberg reported that not only was it showing up, but it was showing up before E3. And it would have
And
a OLED screen, 7 inches, essentially borderless, which essentially means it's going to keep the same or very similar form factor to the Switch itself. And it's just going to eliminate the bezels off the screen, so the screen will pretty much go to the edge of your console, which I thought would have been nice the day I got the system. They said that it'll still be compatible with the current Joy-Cons, but it will have its own. And it's going to have a new dock, and they specified 4K capabilities. Although
yeah,
we don't know if that's like native 4K or if it's like an NVIDIA DLSS technique. Although I'm going to be honest with you, if it's the DLSS 2.0, that's close enough that you're not really going to notice. Like, I've watched a lot of the Digital Foundry videos, and when they show their DLSS 2.0 analysis, they have to like zoom in at 300% for me to be able to see the differences they're talking about. On a normal screen, you're looking at games that are rendering at 1080p or 1440p, and to my eye, matching the quality of 4K. So if the revised Switch can render at that 1080p or 1440 instead of the 720p to 1080 that we get now, and use DLSS, then I think it's going to be totally sufficient. And that's been one of my big complaints, is that the resolution of the Switch, even in games that are higher resolution, the textures normally aren't, and it looks very soupy. And I'm a bit of a graphics whore, so yeah, it annoys me. But yeah, Bloomberg said that it's coming, and it's coming before E3. And I know I called you up late at night and told you that, and
yeah.
your reaction was fun.
Well, Twitter just went crazy right when Bloomberg posted that. Next thing you know, you got Central Leaks coming out saying, "Well, the Switch is coming out today because Emily Rogers did a wink at either today or tomorrow," and then we don't see today or tomorrow. I personally, mark my words, here we are sitting here. It's May 31st at midnight. Um, I feel like there's no doubt in my mind that it's this week. I think we're gonna hear something either for May 31st or June 1st. I think you're either gonna end the month or start the month on something huge.
I would like that. I will say the Bloomberg report that got me interested, of course. The Emily Rogers thing, like, she put up the like the shush face on someone's comment that said today or tomorrow, and people were like, "Oh, that's her confirming it." That is, I see why you would read it like that. I see why people could read it like that, but it could just as easily be her saying, "Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about."
True.
But I trust the Bloomberg report that it is being announced before E3, because it makes sense. They essentially said that it's being announced before E3 because developers want to be able to show their games for the new Switch at E3, and they can't if Nintendo hasn't shown the Switch yet. And
But do you believe in the
Nintendo's date
TheGreenSween
at
report?
E3 is when's Nintendo's date at E3? You told me this
We don't know
earlier.
yet. We don't know yet.
I could have sworn you. Oh no, we were talking about Microsoft's. Microsoft's at
Microsoft's,
Sunday.
yeah.
But yeah, it seems like developers are hoping to show their games sooner, and they can't show them if the Switch successor or revision isn't announced.
Super Nintendo Switch.
Yes, we put that out there right now. The Super Nintendo Switch is the name of the system. I don't care if they don't name it that. That's all I'm calling it. I will never refer to it as a Switch Pro, as a new Nintendo Switch. It is the Super Nintendo Switch. I
We
assume
face
that
that
Nintendo won't
Nintendo's.
be smart enough to actually use that. But
Yeah, that was just about to say it.
that
I was
is the
just about to
name
say
that
it.
makes sense. I mean, it's their most successful system back in the day. It's really what most people think of when they think of Nintendo. And, it just fits. This isn't a Switch 2. This isn't the Nintendo Switch 2. This is a beefed up Switch. This is a Switch with a supercharger in it. So that's a
Yeah,
Super
but
Nintendo Switch. Let's be real. All right, there's a comic book out there that's been around for like 100 years about a guy that has, incredible superhuman strength and speed and flight and, laser beam eyes, and he can, live forever. He's pretty much invulnerable, all that. And his name isn't the New Man. It's not the Man Pro. It's Superman. All right.
there
When you
is.
beef something up like that, you call it Super. The Super Nintendo Switch. That's the name.
Yes,
That's the only one
I
I'm
like
using.
it.
Don't call it anything else anymore.
But I think the biggest thing also was that we had Amazon Mexico leak out a listing for it.
Yeah, I did see that. You know, we talked about it before. I know that that could just be a mistake. It could be someone that heard the rumors and put it up there and then found out like, hey, this isn't true, take it down. But it does feel like, oops, we put something up too early and someone noticed it, so let's take it down. I
Right.
I don't know if I believe today, but I do believe this week. I think before the end of this week, before you know Friday at let's say noon, we will know whether or not uh, the Nintendo Switch, the Super Nintendo Switch, is being announced this week.
I have a feeling they're just gonna have a day where they just go off like, here's when the Pokemon Direct is, here's when we're presenting, here's the Super Switch. Like, oh,
And I mean, realistically,
everything?
they don't have to fully reveal the system. They just have to confirm its existence so developers can show their games. And I'll tell you, I think that's a little bit of news in and of itself that uh, Bloomberg reported that developers want the system revealed so they can show their games. Because what that tells me is this system is noticeably more powerful than the Switch. Because otherwise, they would just show their games as Switch titles. And then later be like, oh yeah, by the way, that's the Super Nintendo Switch. But they can't
Right,
because if they show us something that looks like a Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, or Xbox Series S game and say yeah, this is on the Switch, we're all gonna be like, no, the hell, it's not.
right,
So
right,
I mean,
right.
I think that's what it tells you. And realistically, the Switch was not the most technologically advanced system when it came out.
Nope.
It was. I mean, the hardware was actually like a solid year and a half old at that point. And when you look at how quickly hardware advances, you would have to assume that they could put essentially a PS4 Pro slash Xbox Series S uh, graphical level console into a handheld at this point. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. Something around anywhere from 3 to 4 teraflops of power. The big question for me is will it have a noticeable storage increase, not only in size, but more importantly in speed? Because if it doesn't, then they're already too far behind the curve as companies start to design games to take advantage of the Xbox Series SX and PS5 hard drives. If the Super Nintendo Switch is still running with a 100 megabyte load speed compared to the low end of 2.4 gigabytes on the Series S and X, that you can't compete when you're giving up 24 times advantage to your next competitor.
You can't.
And I'm not saying they need like a 1 terabyte NVMe, but it'd be nice if they had like a 64 gig SSD cache in it. You know, something that could at least keep one full game loaded into its fastest memory, and then we might just have to move games that require the top speed into that memory when we play them.
Right. And I see a lot of people, including myself, get my chops busted because people are saying, oh, what happened to the Nintendo doesn't need the power kind of guys. Well, when it was Xbox One and PS4, it wasn't that bad. It was still a dramatic difference. But now that I'm seeing some PS5 and Series X, it's like, yeah, we're not going to be able to keep up with third party
Yeah,
support. And that's something that's made the Switch so good is that it has had moderately very well
third
third
party
party
support,
support.
absolutely. And they've still been missing some. There are some companies that have decided, hey, our titles are big enough that we're not going to compromise them for the Switch's hardware, like Call of Duty, like Red Dead, like Grand Theft Auto, like Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed. And I think it's time that those games come out on Nintendo platforms again because I do feel bad for anyone that uses Nintendo as their only console and they do have to miss out on some of the greatest games of each generation because of that.
I will say
And
Assassin's Creed has a decent amount, but not enough to where like you could play the newer games and
yeah, I mean it has the Xbox 360 games that were ported over it. Like it's missing
right.
Unity, it's missing Syndicate, it's missing Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla.
It could stay missing Unity just for the record,
Uh,
but
yeah, you know what? Unity on a system that runs fine is an incredible game. I played
I
through it. I
wasn't a
loved it.
fan.
I played through it. I loved it. Uh,
I,
and I
I
even
played it
played
on
through it when it
Xbox
ran
One.
like crap.
Yeah, that's when I didn't like it.
Uh, it was just the truth is early on with Xbox One and PS4, people forget this, but companies like Ubisoft, they hadn't gotten development kits as early as they wanted, so they started designing their own like target computers, like development kits that they thought represented the power that these new systems would have. And then after they were halfway into their development on titles like Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed Unity, they got their real development kits and found out that the PS4 and the Xbox One were nowhere near as powerful as they were expecting, because they went by what the 8-year gap between the console generation starts would have represented in previous generations. And because the Xbox 360 and PS3 took a long time to make their money, and if you remember back then, people were saying, hey, maybe the console market is dying out. Maybe it's just not what it used to be. Because of that, they just weren't really willing to sink that kind of money into the system again. And we got heavily compromised CPUs. In the Xbox's case, we got a base system RAM that was pretty much just stock DDR3, and with a little patch in of embedded RAM in the graphics unit that was supposed to bridge the monstrous gap of speed that the PS4 had. Spoiler alert, it didn't.
Right.
But they gave us moderate graphics bumps with, in some regards, a CPU decrease, which is what hurt Unity. Unity was trying to do all these physics calculations and NPCs in the world, and they thought that they were getting the CPU that we just got in the Series S and X. They thought they were getting high-end CPUs for the time, because most game consoles normally come out with a really impressive CPU. Realistically, the PS4 CPU in some regards is worse than the PS3 one. So I can't blame them for how bad Unity ran at first. If you grab Unity and throw it in an Xbox Series X, it runs at 60 frames, no problem. It's a totally smooth, incredible experience.
Yeah.
It was just something that was designed for hardware better than what they were given. And that's why we had all those downgrades last gen.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
So yeah, I hope that the Super Nintendo Switch, which is what it better be called, is announced this week. I'm certain that it is coming. I've said that before. I don't believe for a second that this is just a rumor that'll fall away.
Well,
it has to come. It has to happen.
What's interesting too is I guess the plan is that they're going to keep the Switch Lite on the shelf, and the Super Switch essentially will be replacing the regular Nintendo Switch.
Which absolutely makes sense to me. They should up the price to $400 to compensate for the increase in power and the screen real estate and whatnot. I do question what kind of battery they're going to use, because with the screen getting bigger and hopefully higher resolution, it's going to use more power, so they'll need to answer that problem realistically. I just don't like the idea that they would keep the regular Switch on the market. So it's really good to hear Bloomberg say that the plan right now is for the Switch to just go away.
Right.
You don't want a $200 Switch Lite, a $300 Switch, and a $400 Nintendo Super Switch or Super Nintendo Switch.
I agree. I just really hope that that's the case, that they do make this dock compatible with the regular Switch for people that just don't want to spend the whole $350 to $400, maybe I don't know what the price is going to be. I'm personally going to guess $400. A lot of people are thinking $350. I'm thinking $400.
Yeah, but I'm certain it's going to be $400. But you also got to keep in mind, at this point, we don't know what the dock is. We don't know if the dock is just like the current Switch dock, and it has no actual functionality beyond just being a power adapter and USB to HDMI bridge. We don't know if it'll have power, like the rumored, dock from when the Switch was first launching. So it might not need to be compatible. If it's not sold separately, then it doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what, if they pull off the Bluetooth idea with the dock, I'm pretty sure the Nintendo Switch and the Switch Lite do have Bluetooth capability built into them. I just don't think they use it really at all.
I'd have to look it up.
I would say you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it'd be interesting if they found a way that all Switches could be docked on the Pro Dock. I mean, imagine being a Switch Lite user that's wanted to, play on the TV, but you didn't want to spend the $300. Well, now this dock's out for $150 to $200, and now you get that power.
I mean, it's got to have. I would assume that the Switch has Bluetooth for the controllers. I mean, I guess They could use their own proprietary wireless, but I don't know why they wouldn't just use Bluetooth. There's already something that exists that does it well, so just stick
Well,
with that.
also, don't the controllers have Bluetooth built into them because you can connect them to your PC and everything like that?
Then definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, it would be a crazy
Oh yeah,
idea to
because
make a
I had
dock.
my Switch Pro controller on my computer before.
Wouldn't that be a crazy, thing to come out with though? The dock has Bluetooth capability for every Switch. I mean, it would be such a brilliant business move. Not only would you make so much money, you would make so many fans happy. It's really such a big win-win. But I don't know if the technology's there to make that happen. Bluetooth dock with the power that can really, even process the Switch Lite. I don't know personally.
I mean realistically, if the dock itself has power, I would assume that it's only going to utilize it while the handheld is on the dock. So there's no need for any type of Bluetooth communication for that.
Right.
You're not going to stream that extra power over your home network.
I'm saying more towards I'm wondering if like instead of putting the Switch on the dock, could you connect it Bluetooth that way onto the dock? I don't know. It's just a thought process, but I don't know how it would all work.
I don't know if you would want to create that latency to try to get the extra power. Like if the dock
Right.
itself has power. I mean, we do see Microsoft doing their cloud gaming, and obviously Amazon's doing it, and Google tried. Yeah, that's right, tried.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
the good news
they're
is
still
I don't
doing
think we'll have to wait too long.
Stadia still exists, but Google backed out of their first party offerings, which
I
is
don't think we'll
for
have
the
to wait
best
too long
anyway.
to know. We'll
No,
know
I think
soon.
that at most we're waiting 5 days. I think Friday at that by noon Eastern on Friday, I believe we know what the Super Nintendo Switch is.
Oh no, we'll be talking about it when you wake up. I'll send you the trailer
I
before you wake up.
I hope so. I absolutely hope so. But I
The
guess
green screen prediction.
from that we'll move on. You have
Yeah, absolutely.
Summer Game Fest. I know
I
you're a big
do.
Summer Game Fest guy.
No, I'm not a big Summer Game Fest guy, but
Yeah,
we gotta
last
include
year
it.
you were in love with Summer Game Fest. It was the best
I
idea
wasn't
ever.
in love, but it was nice that we had something.
You loved it. You loved it.
Oh,
You
EA.
practically ran
EA's
away
like,
when you
yeah,
missed it.
we were never a part of E3, but we're still gonna split off of E3, and now we're a part of Summer Game Fest. Okay, EA. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, they were definitely part of E3 before. I remember many shows where they had their own,
Oh, but they try to
presentation.
act like they're not.
Well, the thing we're obviously going to talk about E3 a lot, and there was a lot of hate on E3 after the 2019 show when a lot of people that attended the event, like their personal information was leaked online, and there were a lot of people saying they weren't going to go back to it, and a lot of questions about how E3 would continue even before COVID happened. So I'm not surprised to see some companies say, you know what, we're going to back out. And realistically, some had even started before that. Sony did not have a real E3 presentation the last couple years. They had much smaller presentations. I know, I think it was 2019, they had one that wasn't even part of E3 itself. It happened at the same time, but it was like in a tent outside somewhere where they only showed, I think, 4 games. It was like Dreams, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and I don't even remember the fourth. Now that I say that, uh, but yeah, you sent me this Summer Game Fest 2021 partners. There's obviously a lot of companies on there. I'm not going to go through every one of them.
No, we're not, especially because a lot of them are E3. Really, they're just gonna
Uh,
report what's at E3. You know.
yeah, it does
Uh,
seem like Summer Game Fest this year is just going to be like a lot of media coverage for the stuff that we're going to hear at E3.
y- I will say for the media coverage, one company that is not at E3 that is on this list that I've kept up on over the years is Blizzard Entertainment. Obviously, I'm a big, I was a big WoW fan. I still am. I love the game. It has a huge history for me, but I, I think it's about time Blizzard really kind of kills off World of Warcraft and they start a new MMORPG project. And it's been talked about with Blizzard for so long. They've tried things and scrapped it. They're kind of like around that time where they're due for a new expansion, and I think it's time you just move off WoW, sadly. I mean, make a new game and keep the characters, kind of like keep some of the characters, but start building a new story and start
Well, I mean, don't forget that
fresh with the
they already
game.
had that, and they ended up scrapping it. They had Project Titan was supposed to be the successor to WoW, And then
Yeah.
for whatever reason, they canceled the entire project. They pulled some of the assets. We know that one of the characters we saw in that ended up a main character in Overwatch, and obviously that's been a big success for them. But honestly, they've never been a big E3 attendee anyway. They normally do their what is it? It's BlizzCon, where they do their own
Yeah.
little presentation. I mean, not
Well,
little, but their own big presentation.
and I'm sure that's exactly what even though BlizzCon's more towards the fall actually usually,
Yeah,
but
but that's what they do. Like they believe that they're big
yeah.
enough that they don't need E3. Like E3 itself was originally created because there was no other outlet to show off games for game developers. So it was actually, I don't know if you know this, but the first E3 was part of another show. It was I want to say it was part of the Consumer Electronics show that year.
Really.
Yeah, it was like a small part of that show in the back, and then they ended up making it its own real show, either the next year or the year after that. But I look here and I see some of the usual suspects. 2K, Activision, Capcom. Obviously, EA is up there. Epic Games. This is stuff we know what we're gonna see. We're gonna see Epic is gonna show more Fortnite, and actually that Dauntless is doing really good for them. So probably some more of that. EA is definitely
EA,
showing Battlefield, whatever Need for Speed is coming.
I'll tell you,
Um,
Madden and NHL is coming to the Switch.
uh,
It's finally time, especially with the Super Nintendo Switch. It's time.
keep making your predictions. I hope you're right.
Epic, and Cynix. I expect to also see a big Rocket League expansion.
Epic and what?
Cynix, that's the original company that made Rocket League, and then Epic Games bought out Rocket League, but
Oh,
Cynix
okay.
still works on them.
Psionics.
Yeah, right. Psionics. I'd probably say it wrong, of course.
I didn't. The first time you
Ex-
said it, I'm like, what did he say? Sonic? Like,
Sonic?
like I told you we don't
No,
want to talk about that no more.
I I expect a big Rocket League update. But I think the big thing with Summer Game Fest, obviously, is we're Jeff Keighley's going to focus on his PlayStation. He loves his Sony. There's
Yeah,
nothing
of
wrong with
course,
that,
of course.
and there's
The only
nothing
thing
wrong
with it
with
is I
that.
don't really know what to expect from them, man. Like I really thought Horizon was gonna have a big presence, and then they decided they were gonna show it before any of this.
I think the
Like,
big
do they
thing for
have so much
Sony,
to show during Summer Game Fest that they were like, yeah, maybe we'll just do Horizon early, or is this just one of their big things that they were like, all right, let's get people talking now, and maybe they'll do something else in another week or so as we build up to this.
I think you're gonna see the PlayStation PC app come. I think they're gonna find a way to expand their games onto the PC a lot more, and
Um,
maybe come with a service on the computer. I think
I mean,
they
they
have
already
to.
had PS Now on the computer, and they didn't like it.
No,
Sony is going to continue to invest in putting, their definitely their less successful console titles are coming to PC, and they're going to get. I think we're going to see God of War. I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see The Last of Us at some point. There's a rumor right now that Uncharted 4 is showing up. Although I'm interested in why you would start with 4 and not with the. I almost said the Master Chief Collection. No, the Nathan Drake Collection.
Nathan Drake is Master
Yeah,
Chief, and we never knew.
yeah. He finally takes his helmet off, and it's like, oh my god. Uh, they're gonna put more games on PC, but it's never gonna be a focus for them. For them, it's
Yeah,
always gonna be about the console. So the PC is just a spot for them to get more sales later after they've already earned everything they can with the PlayStation. Don't expect to see Horizon Forbidden West coming out on PC and PS5 the same day. That ain't happening.
no, 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 no. I don't think games like that. I don't think it's gonna be like launch titles. I just think they're gonna put some older titles on an app that you could because I mean they put I want to say God of War and something else on Steam. My friend was telling me, and they were top selling games. Both times they did it. So I feel like that was almost an experiment to be like, hey, how much can we really make off these games on the PC market? And I just feel like they'll add like a good amount of PS4 games on an app, monthly subscription. It's just an opinion. Just
Yeah,
something I feel like they should do at least. I mean, Microsoft is
they're
killing it
well,
with putting their games everywhere, and
they're not gonna do that.
PlayStation's gonna.
There's not gonna be a monthly subscription. That's not what they're doing.
You
They
think they'll charge for the games outright? You're saying
they do right now, and they're selling well. And God of War is not on PC, bro. I don't know who told you that.
like an older one?
No, the God of War games are not on Steam. They're
No.
PlayStation games.
Well, credibility lost. No.
Uh, they have like they put the Hideo Kojima game on there, Death Stranding. You know where you're like a UPS man in
That
the
was the
future.
other game. Death Stranding was
Um,
the other game you
Days
said.
Gone just
Yeah.
hit. Horizon hit. You know, one of the things I think we saw with Horizon, and it's the reason we're not going to get too many older PlayStation games on PC, but we're going to get newer ones, is these developers, as great as they are, they design their games with the PlayStation hardware in mind. They never intend for it to go anywhere else. And because of that, Horizon had a lot of problems at launch. Like people with super powered computers could barely run the game because it was designed to run in a very specific way on very specific hardware. And it took them a while to get it even running decent. You know, I there's a guy that I work with. He does his own podcast, the All Right Games podcast. You can find it on YouTube. And he was running it on a 2080 Ti, and it was running so poorly he stopped. An hour in, he was like, "Yeah, I can't do this." So,
Wow.
and like they were talking about recently how they had to go back and edit things about the actual engine of the game because the engine was designed at 30 frames. So it wasn't as simple as just being like, hey, let's make it run at 60. There were things that were literally physics calculations only done for 30. Animations didn't have another frame. So you're not going to see too much old stuff, but Sony is going to do newer stuff. There are going to be more PS4 titles that hit. Uh, I just don't expect to see some subscription from them hitting computer. You know, first off, Sony is looking at a Game Pass answer, but it's not going to be very very soon, and it's definitely going to be for console before anyone ever talks about it hitting PC.
Gotcha. Okay. I respect it.
You got to think about it. Sony doesn't have anything else. When you really look at it, sure, Sony makes TVs. I don't know if they still do, but they used to make the Vio computers. They have some phones in the market, but Sony is
Headphones.
PlayStation, bro. Sony is
Yeah.
PlayStation, and yet
No,
they're
absolutely.
still a massive company. You know, if you look at it, PlayStation itself is bigger than Xbox. Now, obviously, Microsoft is bigger no matter what, but PlayStation is bigger than Xbox,
Yeah.
and that's really all Sony has when you really look at it. They're not going to just start handing stuff to the PC crowd. They're going to use the PC crowd to supplement themselves with games that are no longer selling on console. You know, whereas Microsoft is kind of moving away from the console. They're really looking at it like, hey, as long as you're in the Xbox ecosystem, we're happy. Do I think their
Right.
consoles will go away? No, because their cloud servers are consoles. Like right now, they're upgrading their cloud with Series X server blades. So as long as their cloud servers are console hardware, there's always going to be a reason to release the console.
Right.
But yeah, Summer Game Fest, it'll be fun. There's going to be some big announcements there that aren't at E3, but I think most of the big stuff is going to be E3. So I guess with that we switch over to E3. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just say a little quick wish list thing. I'm not predicting it. I don't think it's going to be there, but a little wish list for PlayStation. I'd like to see either Jack and Dexter or Sly Cooper make a comeback, man.
Uh,
Especially seeing
love it.
Ratchet and Clank.
If
Ratchet
we're
and
doing our
Clank
wish
just
list, then I'm gonna throw up Legend of Dragoon. It's one of my all-time favorite PlayStation
nice.
titles. I just like you said, I don't agree. I don't believe it'll be there, but I I'm gonna will it into existence. I'll do the same thing when I get to my Xbox predictions. There's something I'm willing into existence. I'm gonna keep saying it until it shows up, man.
Alrighty, fair
All
enough.
right. And actually, before I take this down, I do want to point out that we obviously have Tencent and Amazon Games on this 2021 partners. I'm going to be keeping an eye on them. You know, I've been talking about them for a while as the cloud gaming market and cloud gaming battle heats up. They're two companies I've got my eye on.
Yeah,
You know, don't be surprised if Amazon shows up at Summer Game Fest and says, "Yeah, we bought something else."
I wouldn't be. I
But with
wouldn't be
that,
at
we
all.
will take that down. And now it's on to. Oh, you know what? It's on to. Bing! E3.
Why is that not? Oh. Okay, I was like looking for the graphic at first, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then I see it next to my head. E3, there it is.
There we go.
We're here.
In our
I
little
love it. The
NSX
NSX
colors.
colors.
Yeah.
Yup.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yeah,
so.
change that background color. That's the Sega, right? No.
Yeah, we just leave the S there because it covers like a bunch of other shit that we don't play that much. No, I do play my PlayStation. Let me not say that.
The blue does not get to be Sega. It might get to be Square.
Well, don't be surprised if Square is owned by somebody else at some point in the future. These companies
Mm.
are still buying, and as long
Are
as
you hinting
Amazon and
something?
Tencent are willing to buy, Sony and Microsoft are willing to buy too. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a big thing to point out. Like all these people right now throwing a fit about like, oh, Microsoft but Bethesda, are their games going exclusive? Are they not? First off, I want to say it's bullshit that most people that are complaining about Microsoft potentially making those games exclusive, they wouldn't say that if it were the other way. If Sony had bought Bethesda, they'd be like, yeah, well, you better buy a PlayStation so you can play some Bethesda games because Sony has no reason to release it anywhere else. So it's only something that Microsoft's not allowed to do. But I can't stress enough, like, Microsoft didn't buy Bethesda because of Sony. They don't give a shit about Sony. They're making their money regardless of the fact that the PlayStation now sells them. They're still making billions of dollars. If I could lose and make billions of dollars losing, I'll lose every day. I
I'll
wouldn't
lose
mind at
too.
all. You know,
Because you're winning. Because you're
but
winning.
the reason that these purchases are happening, like I said earlier, like it was a massive deal when Rare got bought by Microsoft, frickin' however long ago, 20 years, and that was I think in the $300 million range, and that was like the biggest purchase we had seen in gaming and that I could remember. But now in the last couple years, Microsoft bought five of their own or five or six studios before Bethesda. Then they bought Bethesda, which is like an entire publisher with its own studios. They now have the biggest first party studio lineup in the world. Uh, of course, Sony went out and bought Insomniac, a company that essentially worked exclusively with them, with the exception of Sunset Overdrive. And they bought them. They didn't buy them because they were worried about Insomniac making another Xbox game. They didn't care about Sunset Overdrive coming to Xbox. They bought them because they knew that Amazon and Tencent and Google might have bought them. And if any of those buy them, they're gone. They're not. If Amazon buys Bethesda, those games are exclusive to Amazon. If they buy Insomniac, those games are exclusive to Insomniac. They don't care whether or not you think it's okay. They've spent the last 20 years becoming the biggest company in the world by doing what they want with their money and telling you to deal with it. So as long as they're still willing to buy stuff, which everything we've heard is that Amazon is looking to purchase more studios and spend more money on gaming, then Microsoft and Sony are still going to be buying stuff. So don't be surprised if Square ends up bought. There's always been rumors about Sega. There's been some talk about Capcom. Don't be surprised if some of these companies that you never thought could be bought are bought, because when you have companies throwing around the money that Amazon has, even people that aren't for sale are for sale. It's just that simple.
True. Yeah.
But yeah,
Can't rule
we're on
out
to
anything.
E3, as you can tell by the little E3 nod next to your head.
Woo!
I'm kind of ashamed of how long it actually took me to put that together.
Nah, it's dope.
It just, my computer was not behaving with me earlier.
I know.
I did get it. I got it up there next to your head. I think it looks dope. E3 predictions, I guess.
E3 predictions, I guess.
Oh, yo, you know what? Before we do that, Summer Game Fest you were talking about with Sony, I just brought up Sunset Overdrive. There's a lot of rumors about a Sunset Overdrive 2 coming to PlayStation. First off, I believe
That'd be
that.
cool.
Second, I do believe that Insomniac's going to show Sunset Overdrive being, whatever, remastered, re-released, touched up a little bit, and released exclusively on PS5. I think that's coming to E3 or Summer Game Fest. I think that is going to happen. And it's going to be Sony's little, nod to the community that's been essentially begging Microsoft to give us a Sunset Overdrive 2 for a couple years. Sony's going to be like, here you go, we got you. But onto our official E3 predictions. You want to start with Nintendo?
Do you have the sheet or no?
E3.
We could just start with.
Boom.
Oh, perfect.
All the people. Of course, there's a lot of companies on there. We're going to see a bunch of stuff from most of these. I don't like seeing Verizon, by the way. They just don't look like they belong up there. Like one of these things.
Verizon.
Like the others.
Premier. They're Premier. How did they make it to that category?
They
I guess
must
that
have money.
in all reality, I probably start right and then go left. If there's anything you just see on the right there that stands out to you, obviously for me it's probably Marvelous. No More Heroes 3 is a no-brainer of what I'm looking forward to there.
Uh,
Uh,
I don't know. Nothing over there really intrigues me. I mean, why is OtterBox there?
I'm sure they're gonna come out with some accessories for the phone to make xCloud more adaptable. Would be my guess.
Yeah, it makes sense. Um,
But Marvelous is also probably gonna come out with Rune Factory 5 there. I wouldn't be surprised. Not a series I keep up on, just a game that we're kind of due for. So,
well, I mean, that was already announced. We just didn't see it.
well, that's what I'm saying. I think we're gonna see it. Uh, moving on to Showcase.
Yeah.
That quick.
Warner
Uh,
Brothers. Very interested in Warner Brothers because we know that they were potentially for sale about 8 months ago.
yeah.
Uh, I was really hoping Microsoft would have bought them. Not to say just Microsoft, like Microsoft or Sony, I wouldn't mind. I just really hope that Amazon doesn't end up the one that grabs them. I prefer Microsoft because, you'll be able to get those games on Xbox, on PC, whatever. Whereas I believe they come out on, if Sony bought them, it would only be PlayStation, and if Amazon bought them, you're only playing it on that Luna service that they got coming. But I'd like to see
Right.
what they have. I know that Gotham Knights got delayed into 2022. I want to see an update on that. I want to see the Suicide Squad game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Suicide Squad game. That's a good one to put up there. That's funny. Gotham Knights was one I also wrote. I want to see more of Back for Blood. I know that got delayed, but I really want to
Yeah,
see that game.
I think that's October, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm also expecting to see Hogwarts Legacy. That game looked really good when they first showed it.
Yeah, that's another one that got delayed. I mean, COVID. We talked about it earlier this year. There were going to be a lot more delays.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it'd be a good time to show more of that at least.
we got Gearbox up there. You know what I would really like to see Gearbox bring back? Brothers in
What's that?
Arms.
Brothers in Arms.
Do you remember those games back on the original Xbox?
I don't recall, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they were like a Call of Duty or Battlefield kind of first person shooter. That it was just I want to say there was a bunch of them too, like eight or more games, but they were like really story driven, like really like HBO's Band of Brothers kind of like. It was just excellent. I would love to see them bring it back. I think I'm actually looking it up right now, and the last release was 7 years ago. Brothers in Arms 3: Sons of War.
Hmm.
But there's actually like, yeah, you got Brothers in Arms, you got Road to Hill 30, Earned in Blood, Hell's Highway. Uh, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says consisting of 10 individual games, so I was low saying 8.
Wow.
I'd like to see them come back with that, and I would like an explanation of what's going on with Borderlands. Why they just
You know,
confirmed Borderlands 3 crossplay with everything except PlayStation.
it's funny. I actually wrote down Borderlands 3 comes to the Switch, and then I put maybe some of Borderlands 4, like a first look.
And I think too soon for Borderlands 4. There was a while between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming to the Switch, I would like that. The other ones are already there. Especially, I would like it if they confirm crossplay with the Xbox and PC versions. I just really want to know exactly what happened with the PlayStation version. They said there was some sort of financial issue with putting it
Hmm.
crossplay on PlayStation. So come
Gotcha.
out and blow Sony's spot up like Epic did with Fortnite. I see Sega there. I'd like to see more in the Yakuza series, definitely. I'd like to see Sonic Adventure 3. Maybe they just
Oh
held
no
out and they
shit,
didn't
you
show it.
too?
Yeah, I'm thinking, maybe they just didn't show it at the other thing because they really wanted to show it at E3. Maybe that's what they were saving it for,
It's
or
a
maybe
possibility. It's a
they just hate
possibility.
us. Uh,
It's also a possibility.
yeah,
For me, up there out of the showcase, my favorite I'm looking forward to is Bandai Namco. I had a lot of things written down for Bandai Namco, but where is okay right here. Uh, I'm just gonna go over the main things I think are gonna happen. I think Snap DLC is a must. Pokemon Snap DLC is a no-brainer.
so what do
People
you
will
think with
buy
the
it.
DLC? Do you think just added characters or like a whole added area of the game?
Definitely new maps. My idea would have been cool. I highly doubt they'd do something like this, but I wish they would take the concept in the new game and do the old maps, but like start the map how it used to be, just kind of remastered, and then as you level up those maps, they add Pokemon to those old maps. Of course, it's probably not going to happen, but again, I thought it would be a cool idea. I just think it's going to be new maps, add some Pokemon, yada blah. My
Yada
favorite
blah.
quote. Yep.
Yada
Uh,
blah.
I know you don't like the game, but I think Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 will get announced.
I don't know about Xenoverse 3, but I think there is a new Dragon Ball and a new Naruto to be announced.
New Naruto's interesting. I think they'll come out with a new Pokken.
I wouldn't complain there.
I would not either.
Um,
I would like them to dive deeper and give us a lot more to do in the game and have some replayability.
Actually, you know what they could show that I would be really interested in. We haven't had a Tekken since like 2016 or 17 with Tekken 7.
Yeah, that would be
I
interesting too.
mean,
That's
show me a Tekken 8 or
uh,
just something else in the Tekken saga. I don't know.
that's a strong possibility.
Bandai Namco just they own so much. Like they have the Xenosaga games, they have Time Crisis. I don't know if that could really be brought back successfully today. They have the Sword Art games. I'm sure they'll have something more on those. Those are actually successful, even though I don't like them. Um, they could do Ridge
I said
Racer.
I.
Ridge Racer used to be a big PlayStation franchise.
Yeah, and then another game I got is God Eater 4. I expect to see that at E3 this year from Bandai.
You know what I'd like to see from them, honestly, is another take on Pac-Man '99. Like give us like another battle royale Pac-Man. They really
Oh
surprised us with
man,
that before, so
what battle royale would you like to see if you had to pick one offhand?
I don't know, man. Uh, God,
You know what, Sega? Sonic 99. Thanks for coming out. Sonic 30 for the 30th anniversary. Let's do it. I'm down.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
God
know
Eater
that's not
4.
Bandai, but
That could be. That could be for.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
You
they
got
could do another Dark Souls, I guess.
yeah. They got a lot of
Um,
options. Bandai Namco makes some great games.
yeah. All right, so jump into Elite. What do you got for Elite here? Capcom, Resident Evil Code Veronica
Capcom's my
remake.
big one there.
Resident Evil
Uh,
Code Veronica remake. Don't talk to me about Resident Evil 4 remake. Give me Resident Evil Code Veronica.
I put for Resident Evil. I put some Village DLC. I wouldn't be surprised to see
Yeah,
a
there's
little
probably
hint
gonna
at
be some
that.
DLCs. They've done several for 7, but
I I
show
ex,
me the
I
remake.
ex,
There's another remake coming.
I expect them to show us the Monster Hunter Rise like the big update, like they did with Monster Hunter World. Not like a release date, not anything
Man, didn't you
too
just get one?
definitive. Well, I understand like 2.0, 3.0. I'm talking like how they added a whole world of DLC,
Okay, so I see what you're saying,
like
but
an
like
expand, like
you
the
gotta understand
expansion. Like
that the Iceborne wasn't like quick, man.
no, well that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying gameplay of it. I'm not saying anything. Just like a teaser. I'm expecting them to kind of confirm that there's going to be an expansion for this game, basically.
Yeah, I mean, what Monster Hunter World came out right around my birthday in 2018, so January. Uh, when the hell did Iceborne come out? I don't I don't remember. I don't feel like it was quick. I feel like that was like a really late release.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised though if they kind of launched that in early 2022 with it coming to PC.
Oh,
No,
Rise?
maybe, yeah, maybe they'd wait a little bit until after, maybe
Yeah,
summer of
yeah, bro.
2022.
Monster Hunter Iceborne came out a year and a half after Monster Hunter World.
All right, so I mean,
Because I mean, you're talking about a
yeah,
massive amount of content. That's not just a simple DLC pack. That
no, I know. So I mean,
that's
summer
essentially
2022
Monster Hunter
does
World
sound,
2.
yeah. That's funny. That's also a game I put down on my list. Not exactly that name, but I expect to see the next Monster Hunter for next gen consoles.
I don't. I do expect to see an official Monster Hunter patch for Series X and PS5, so World will run better. but I don't think that they're ready to show the actual next game yet.
You know which one I would love to see, and I think we're really due for it, is Dead Rising 4. I love the Dead Rising series.
You know that Dead Rising 4 is out, right?
Dead Rising 5.
Yeah, that's what I figured you meant.
Ah, whoops. It's got a 4 in it.
I'm, I'm definitely gonna make that an audio clip on you. Feature, Razer and Take Two Interactive, huh?
Razer, I am curious what Razer. I used to use a lot of Razer products for PC. It was Razer and Corsair were my main, or Corsair, yeah, Corsair. Uh, yeah, we'll see what they got. Razer's, probably gonna have a lot of accessories, I'm sure.
I'm sure Take Two will show up with some updates to Grand Theft Auto Online, Red Dead Online. It may be our first glimpse at Grand Theft Auto 5 running on PS5 and Series X because they confirmed that it's getting a full-on $60 re-release on those consoles November 11th. So at least show us what you're charging us $60 for. And I'm ashamed, but I'm gonna buy it, so I can't even talk shit.
I actually put two new games from T2. I got LA Noir 2, or a sequel to LA Noir.
I don't think so.
And
right.
and then I put this one's more of a hope, even though this game traumatized me as a kid. I put a new Max Payne title for next gen.
I would love a new Max Payne. Max Payne 3 is one of my favorite games from the 360 gen.
I feel like Max Payne's kind of been MIA for the last couple of years, and
yeah, I would love a new Max Payne. People have been asking for a Max Payne 3 like patch for the Series S and X for a while. Hopefully we get one. I mean, from Take Two, look, we're obviously gonna end up seeing NBA 2K.
yeah,
I would have liked to say that we were gonna see this new 2K football that they announced with the arcadey one, but now that we know that it got delayed, I'm wondering if maybe we either don't see it or we only see like a small little glimpse.
I do want to see a little bit of it, and I wouldn't be surprised
Uh,
if we do. I mean, it did get delayed to 2022, but that doesn't mean it can't be early 2022.
I think we'll see WWE 2K. I don't know what it would be, 22,
Battlegrounds.
2K 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did show a brief trailer of it during WrestleMania. I think we'll actually see it. They took a year off. They didn't make one last year. They did the
2K Battlegrounds.
2K Battlegrounds instead. I'd like to see what they did with that extra year off. I used to love the WWE games. I used to be a big wrestling fan, so that made sense.
Me too.
But I've really fallen off the games in recent years because they just haven't been good. So I'd love to see them come back to being good. My only real prediction for 2K, or I'm sorry, Take Two, is we're gonna see Mafia 4. Maybe that's just because I recently played through Mafia 3 and 1 and I really enjoyed them. But I also was just thinking about the time, like Mafia 1 is a remake. Hangar 13 obviously had to put a lot of work on that. It's not a simple remastering. But like the story was already done. A lot of the gameplay beats were already there, so I think that they probably had time to work on that while also working on Mafia 4 because 3 came out. If I'm remembering my achievements right, 3 has been out for like 5 years. Because I feel like I got achievements on that game like when it came out, and then I got them again 5 years later. I finished playing it. So yeah. I think it's about time we see Mafia 4. And I saw some rumors that potentially Mafia 4 is coming and you play as like a corrupt cop trying to take down the mob. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I want to see
I dig it.
I don't believe Grand Theft Auto 6 will show up. Anyone that thinks that, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
I'll tell you for 2 reasons. One, they're making too much money on Grand Theft Auto Online right now. I should say 3 reasons. 2, they're re-releasing Grand Theft Auto 5. But 3, Rockstar doesn't show Grand Theft Auto off at E3. Like they'll show Grand Theft Auto 5 because it's already been revealed, released, played, beaten, all that stuff. But Grand Theft Auto 6 will get its own event. They're not piggybacking on E3 for Grand Theft Auto 6. It will get its own big-ass announcement because it's beyond gaming. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 sold like 140 million copies.
Yeah.
All right, so you're up to Premiere.
Well, before we jump to Premiere, I want to bring up one thing about E3 that I really didn't bring up before we talked about it, but I think one thing that's going to be interesting about E3 this year is the app that they're going to be coming out with E3. The fact that they're going to have these booths on an app. I'm wondering, like, are you going to be able to get like exclusive demos, exclusive content in games if you show up at these things at a certain time? I hope they do something really cool with this because they have a chance to really change the future of E3 with this app being all digital, which is really what E3 should be to begin with, right? We really don't need as much of the Hollywood thing as much as we're gamers and we want to, experience these things digital and to like really kind of be at E3, but not be there, but a step closer to that from the digital market is really cool in my opinion.
No, I agree. I like the idea that it's just an online thing now. I honestly, I as much as I love E3 and I get excited for it every year, I do feel like we've moved past the need for the traditional E3 we used to have, like when they would come out with all these CG trailers and really blow us away with stuff that we probably wouldn't see for mad long. I want more gameplay. I want it interactive. I want a lot more demos. Remember last year Summer Game Fest had like 20 demos that were like on that would have been at like the E3 show floor if E3 really existed.
Yeah.
And we got to play them online. I want more of that. I want more access to play games that I shouldn't be playing yet and really see people's visions on what their games are going to be.
Right. I think the mobile app is going to be really something special, and I think everybody who's going to be keeping up on E3 should really give it a check out when they release the full app. Oh, if you look on the screen real quick, you could actually see my character in the background there, more like me.
Yeah, all right. I like it.
All right, so on to the premiere. The thing we've been waiting to talk about, Verizon, headline of the show.
Bro.
Dude, when I saw Verizon, I was stunned. I'm like, oh, all right, you guys are kicking in the door now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're going to be showing whatever they show, and I'm not going to care about any of it. That's the truth.
Well, it's a no-brainer with cloud services getting so strong and so much going on. I'm sure they're gonna show a lot of cloud-related things in mobile gaming. I'm not
Yeah,
really surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Verizon come out with some sort of partnership, probably bolstered with Samsung and Microsoft for like getting a certain amount of Game Pass with XCloud with your Verizon account.
It'd be cool.
Yeah. Or maybe like a discount for Verizon members. Like if you're a Verizon member, you can log into your Xbox Live account and get it for 20% off, something like that. I think they will
Yeah.
want to partner with someone and give you a reason to use Verizon instead of, T-Mobile, AT&T, Sprint, whatever.
Well, they've earned my respect. They made it to E3.
Yeah. All right, so Square, Forspoken will show up. I'm certain.
Well, we're certain
I'm interested in that.
Square's interesting because they had that leak come out, and that makes things interesting because as much as we know those things exist now will they show those things at E3? And I think people are starting to be a little narrow-minded and think that's all we're gonna see from Square at E3, and it's like no, we might not even see everything that was reported at E3.
I'll tell you
Uh,
one thing I don't expect to see is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. The only way I think we'll see that is if they confirm it's coming to another platform because it comes out the day of E3. So
right?
there's no need to show anymore. I do think
No,
we'll see Final Fantasy 16, but not very much of it. I don't think it's that close to release. I think we'll get
yeah,
a
and a
much
lot of
bigger look at Forspoken.
yeah, I agree. Final Fantasy 16, a lot of people are saying is going to be a PS exclusive.
I'm pretty certain they confirmed that they had a 2-year deal with Sony.
It was timed. A lot of people are saying permanent, but
No,
who knows?
it'll never. No one's going to sign a permanent again. No third party's going to do that. They'll sign a 1 or a 2 year. They'll keep their options open.
I
It's the
had
same thing
Dragon
right now.
Quest
They signed a
12.
1 year with Final Fantasy VII, but it still isn't anywhere else.
I had Dragon Quest 12 written down, but lo and behold,
Yeah, lo and behold, they announced it. I think we probably actually see it at E3.
yeah, it makes sense. It's also the Dragon Quest 35th anniversary. A lot of 35s this year, dude. Been realizing that. I
Yeah,
played
and
us.
of course you've got the Dragon Quest 3 remake they showed that looks like Octopath. Uh, I
Yeah, I
like
was
to see them
actually
using that Octopath. It's
what's
not an
that?
Octopath engine. People say that
Project
it's on,
Triangle.
yeah, it's on Real Engine. But I like to
Yeah,
see them using that particular setup and tool set that they've used for Octopath in Project Triangle in this Dragon Quest III remake. Because I think
That was
it
one
looks
thing I wrote
incredible.
down. That was one thing I wrote down too. Was Project Triangle strategy is gonna be shown more in depth, definitely at E3.
Yeah,
You
you were
know,
really big on it when they showed it the first time. You played the demo and wouldn't stop talking to me about it for like 5 days.
Square, can you please give us Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on the Switch? It can run. I
Uh,
want to.
I mean, yeah, I'd like that, but honestly, I'd like to hear something about a new Kingdom Hearts, even if it's just a little hint.
I think you will. I think you will. And here's the reason why is based on the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. I feel like I could talk about the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. We're long past that. Based on the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, uh, my buddy is huge into Kingdom Hearts 2, and he agrees with this 100%. He's actually the one who really brought up the theory to me, is that they're really going to move off of the Disney route. Uh, it's not going to take place in Disney worlds anymore like that. And if you play the Toy Story level in Kingdom Hearts 3, you kind of get warped into this video game and you're in this whole different world, but those characters kind of come outside the world in
Hmm.
Kingdom Hearts. Like they're in the video game, and I think that video game and those characters is going to be like the next Kingdom Hearts. And again, shout out to my buddy Ghost. He came up with the theory, and he went over all the evidence, and I think he's 100% right. So, Kingdom Hearts has usually had a long delay in between the games. One, we're waiting for two forever. We waited for three forever. I don't think you're going to have nearly as long of a wait for this Kingdom Hearts because it's just going to be such a different style of game. So don't be surprised when you don't see Donald and Goofy anymore. Seriously.
I I don't know. I think I would like to see the next one, but I don't think we're going to anytime soon. If I'm being honest, um, I don't know if it abandons Disney. I'd heard that before. I think that that's a game that will do whatever crazy thing it wants to do, and if you think it's what it's gonna do, then it's probably not what it's gonna do because they're gonna
Imagine,
surprise the hell out of us.
imagine you just see Sora running around, and all of a sudden a warp pipe pops up. It's a me. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, he's going into other games. That'd be cool. It's pretty much what I said I
Yeah.
wanted from Astrobot.
Yeah.
Um, Ubisoft. You got anything for Ubisoft?
I got a decent amount for Ubisoft. Yeah.
Hit me.
Here's another one I wrote down. Far Cry 6. Screw me, right? All my predictions are just before E3.
I don't really know if
Uh,
that's a prediction. Far Cry 6 was announced 7 months ago.
yeah, but I expected to see more about it, and we already saw more about
Even
it, is what I'm
actually, I
saying.
think it was more than seven. No, no, I say that. I think it was E3 last year or Summer Game Fest last year.
I expect to see more of that new Division game. I can't remember the title of it, but I expect to see more of that. The free one they were talking about.
What was that?
Oh, it was something, wasn't it? It had a four in it, I think. No,
No, no, really. Heartland or
wasn't
something?
it? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Heartland. I think I'm right.
Regardless, I expect to see more of that, and I'm
Yeah, I like to see
excited
that
for
that
that.
studio's still
We
working
had
on
some we had
Division
some good
content.
times on the Division 2. We had some good times. Still to this day, one of my favorite Xbox games, honestly. Uh, I put Just Dance High School Musical game. LOL, just kidding. But we will see Just Dance there, I'm sure,
Yeah,
in some
it's actually
form.
a really successful franchise for them, so expect to see it.
Well, people love it, and
Maybe
you can't.
maybe another one for VR, maybe a Switch one.
I put up Brawlhalla DLC. I've been playing that a little bit again. My buddy made me get back into it, and we've been having some fun. I like Brawlhalla, fun little free game if you don't have the access to Smash Bros. So, and then I do expect to see a little bit for the next Assassin's Creed game. Not much, not no gameplay, nothing like that, but like maybe the name
I'm
and
actually going to go
the theme.
100% against you there. I think we will not see anything for the next Assassin's Creed game. Those are now on 2 year rotations. We will, however, see the next DLC pack for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay, I was thinking that as my next guess, if not, so.
Yeah, I don't think we'll actually see the next Assassin's Creed until next summer. And I'm going to. This is one of the things that I'm going to will into existence. Ubisoft, give me my Splinter Cell. I want a
Can you do
new
it?
Splinter Cell. Make it happen.
You, he needs it.
All right. Last year they show up and they're like, "Hey, check this out, Sam Fisher, he's coming to a mobile game near you." Like, what? Like, oh, he's gonna be a skin in Ghost Recon. What? Just give me a damn Sam Fisher game. What's the matter with you people? It's like Sega with Sonic Adventure. Like, guys, we want this. We're telling you we want this. Can you just make it, please?
I know.
And honestly, I think now is a better time than ever because realistically, Metal Gear is gone. There ain't been a Metal Gear in a while now, and a lot of people didn't like the last one. They didn't feel like it really lived up to the type of stealth gameplay that it used to have. I thought it was really good though, but
yeah,
now is the best time to say here's a Splinter Cell. If it's too expensive, go partner with somebody and get it exclusive to their console. I don't care, just not Amazon.
Right. I really wish Konami was on this list too, but they had to drop out. They weren't ready.
Konami doesn't really make games anymore. They don't belong on this list.
They were gonna be at E3. They were on this list, but they dropped out.
Konami doesn't really exist like that anymore, bro. They make pachinko machines. They're letting other people make their games. They should never be here again. That's a company that should go under, and someone else should get all of their stuff. The way they handled Hideo Kojima is freaking disgusting. That's a disgusting company. I don't ever want to talk about them again.
Oh man, that's rough.
All right, so on to Pinnacle. What do you want to start with? You want to take Nintendo, or you want me to run with Xbox?
Hey, that's up to you, man. I mean,
all right. Well, I've waited long enough to say Xbox, so I'm starting with Xbox.
Alrighty.
All right, so my Xbox stuff, I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I do have one thing that I'm just going to say, even though I don't think it's going to happen, but it better happen because I really want it. Lost Odyssey 2. I want Lost Odyssey 2. All right, partner with Miss Walker again. Give me Lost Odyssey 2. Lost Odyssey is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. The 1,000 Years of Dreams, where you found all these little, like, Microsoft, whatever it was called. What was the slideshow one? You remember the slideshow app we used to have to use in school? PowerPoint. They were like Microsoft PowerPoint presentations that they were like just stories about your main character's previous lives, because he was an immortal, so he had lived with different people, different spouses, different families for thousands of years, and he was remembering his lives, and they were like perfectly composed by Nobuo Uematsu. They elicited more emotion out of me than entire games from other companies. So I want more of that. I want Lost Odyssey 2. I just want it to happen. Make it happen. But going on to my realistic predictions, Halo Infinite will be there. Let's be real. I think it's actually going to show up twice. I think it's going to have a big single-player showcase with much better graphics. A lot of people complained last year. I was one of them. They showed that at the Microsoft show, I think in June of last year, and I don't know. I think maybe no one watched it before, so they didn't know that it looked bad, because they really talked it up beforehand, like it was going to be like, the gaming god's gift to gaming, and it didn't look that way. But I've seen some updates through their monthly blog posts and whatnot. It does look a lot better. I do think we'll get a single player showcase with announced release date November 15th of 2021. That's the 20-year anniversary of the original Xbox and Halo Combat Evolved's launch. And I think we get a public beta that drops during E3 with the showing of the multiplayer.
Yeah, I would like that. I would really like that. I would definitely be on that.
Microsoft likes to do that, like, oh, play it now. Oh, this happened today. Here's a shadow drop. So I do think that'll happen, and me and you will be playing a little Halo multiplayer. You'll probably school me because I haven't really played like that, and I think since Reach. But I'll have some fun getting schooled. And again, November 15th, 2021. Starfield is going to be Bethesda's big thing.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to say one of Bethesda's two big things. Starfield will be announced as an Xbox and PC exclusive. Expect to hear that. There's been a lot of debate about whether or not this is coming to PlayStation. A lot of people were like, oh, they need to release their games on PlayStation to make their money back. First off, Microsoft's making plenty of money. They don't give a damn about releasing nowhere else. If they don't want to, they won't. Second, they came out and said a couple months ago, we made this purchase for you gamers so you would have exclusive stuff. That's what you said you wanted. They're telling you Starfield's not going anywhere else.
Microsoft already gave him plenty of money on the buyout, let alone.
Yeah, so Starfield will be announced as an Xbox and PC exclusive, but contrary to reports we heard, a month ago and more in line with what we've been hearing lately, it's not launching until next year. And I think late next year. I think it's a big Christmas thing. There's no need for Starfield to launch alongside Halo Infinite.
No, there's not.
Psychonauts 2 will be shown and will be released during the show. For one, I have a lot of friends that loved Psychonauts. I never could quite get into it. I have it on my Series X here, and I don't think it's a bad game. It's just not a me game.
Right,
I'm happy for everyone that's going to be able to get it, that really wants it, and I do think it's going to be shadow dropped. I think that's another, Halo beta. Hey, ready now. Here you go. A couple things not going to be there. I don't believe Hellblade or Fable show up. I think Hellblade is at the earliest late 2022 release, and Microsoft's developed a habit of trying to not show too much stuff that's really far out. I think the show is mostly going to be about stuff for this year, with the exception of Starfield. I think Forza Horizon 5 will have its reveal. I don't even think it. I know it. There's been too many leaks. It's got to happen. We've heard that it's Mexico. I think it's going to look amazing. Even though it'll be cross-gen, I think it's going to blow us away visually. It's going to launch 2021, I think September. And I'm hoping, but I'm not certain, I'm hoping we get some sort of update on the regular Forza Motorsport game that they briefly showed last year.
Okay.
Kind of bridging from Premiere to Pinnacle here. I think Ubisoft finally gets confirmed as coming into Game Pass. I don't think it's going to be like all of their titles, but it's going to be like some select older games, kind of like EA with EA Access. So we're probably going to get like the older Assassin's Creed, but not Valhalla. Probably Watch Dogs 1 and 2, but not 3. Stuff like that. My last shadow dropped game, 12 minutes. 12 minutes will come out during E3, I believe this. Do you remember 12 minutes from last year?
I don't, no.
It's the like top-down game where you're just in an apartment and like the game lasts for 12 minutes and you die and then the game gets played again and you're trying to figure out what's happening over and over and over again.
Okay, yes, I do remember this.
It's got like a celebrity cast. I want to say the girl that plays Rey in Star Wars is in it. Willem Dafoe is in it. Like,
oh,
yeah, I think it gets announced as being released during the show. I think we'll get another like more FPS boost titles, like a batch of 40, 50 games from the Xbox One that are going to be running at 60 or 120 frames on the newer systems. I think Battlefield 6 is going to be shown at Microsoft's conference and announced to be released day one on Game Pass. I think that's going to be their big major Game Pass announcement. And I think they're going to close the show revealing that launching this fall, Xbox and PC exclusive, Wolfenstein 3.
Ooh.
That's Bethesda's big game.
I like it. So it's interesting. I took down some notes for Xbox, obviously, and a lot of things that you said really do line up with what I wrote, and a lot of things I did predict ended up coming true. I did put Starfield in parentheses, Microsoft exclusive, so that nails the head right with what you're saying. I put an expansion on xCloud, meaning they're gonna try to just do what they can to expand other devices, and I wouldn't be surprised if Verizon and Xbox have a plan together to really make that work a lot better.
Microsoft's already done their expansion to xCloud, though. They're putting it on browsers so it can be run on any device.
Could be put on the Switch, though. I'm just saying, I think they're going to do something
on the Switch because that's a dedicated app, and I'll say I want that forever, but I think for some reason Nintendo's against it. I don't understand why.
I had to put it there because I just got to stress it always. I put a glimpse of Fable 4. Not saying anything
I would
crazy.
Love it, but I don't think it'll be there. I think that's much further off.
Okay. I put Forza Horizon, of course, just
Definitely.
like you. I put segment dedicated to Bethesda, which we do have confirmed that there will be that.
We have confirmation that Bethesda is just merged into their show. I don't know if it's going to be its own segment or if they're going to like kind of pepper their announcements into the rest.
I
But
feel like they kind of made it. They're kind of at least advertising it like Microsoft plus Bethesda.
yeah, it's
That's how it
Xbox and Bethesda
seems.
showcase because it's Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda Game Softworks. Like they're keeping Bethesda as a separate publisher, even though Microsoft owns them.
I think they're gonna have Todd Howard come. Well, I mean, they're not really gonna have anybody come out and present, but I'm sure maybe they'll get him digital on there to like be like, oh, well, here's a look at some of our games, and I don't know, maybe, but
Here's a look
I
at
put
Starfield.
I put a segment for new games on Game Pass, and I put 50 plus games. And with you especially saying that Xbox could have Ubisoft come to Game Pass, that could be a good chunk of games right there alone.
Absolutely.
So I think that'd be a huge way. And I mean, Game Pass is Xbox's bread and butter. It is what they have perfected and what they do so well. It's the big reason to buy an Xbox, if you ask me. We talk about it almost every podcast how it's the best deal in gaming, and I'm a Nintendo fan, and I'll stand by that every podcast that Game Pass is the deal to get in gaming, 100%. I have it on my Xbox, and even for me to be able to play certain games like Sea of Thieves or really even a game like Knockout City, if I didn't have it on my Switch, but I mean I fell in love with the game instantly. I bought it day two within the free trial, so. But I'm just saying, you get access to so many things, and I just think they're going to constantly expand on that. It would be great to see them really get Ubisoft on there, though. I agree with that. Uh, and then I ended up putting a lot of Halo. Go figure. Uh, and you said it. You think there's going to be two separate things for Halo. So I mean, a lot of Halo is appropriate. They posted the picture for they're going to be at E3, and they had Master Chief as the highlight of that. So. Then I put something entirely new, something we don't know about that's going to be pretty solid, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, they did
Because,
say that they have 5 new IPs to show, so
yeah, so
I'm definitely expecting to see something cool. I honestly would love to see a revival of Banjo-Kazooie, but I don't think it's going to happen because they tried it before and it didn't work.
I would like it with a dash in between those two premieres, Nintendo and Xbox Banjo and Kazooie game. It would be a dream.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Pinch me, I'm dreaming.
When I see you, I will.
Thanks.
All right, so you ready to move on to Nintendo?
Oh, am I ready to move on to Nintendo? All right, well, I'll be simple and quick. At least for Pokemon, I think we're gonna have a Pokemon Direct this week. I think we're gonna have it the week before Nintendo presents, as always, for E3. So expect something this week. I'm expecting to see more Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We already got the release dates, and I'm very shocked to see Arceus be a January 28th release.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to get the release date so early, period.
Right, and then I was saying Pokemon Day next year, and I knew I was kind of even stretching for that, like maybe even not that, maybe March or April. Here we are, January 28th. But I expect to see they're going to confirm that Megas are coming to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They talked about in a press conference bringing back old gameplay elements that they kind of abandoned in the last couple of generations, which Ultra Sun and Moon and Pokemon Sword and Shield have abandoned the Mega Evolution. So hopefully that's what they're implying. If you watch the trailer closely, you could see Dawn wearing a Mega bracelet, or it at least resembles that. So I'd like to see some new Megas added to the game. That would be really cool. I expect to see more in depth about Legends Arceus, how the gameplay works, how the battle system really works in depth, and just the exploration of the environment. I expect that to be shown off. And then really, I only have two other I guess Pokemon Unite release date. And then Detective Pikachu 2. I expect to see the sequel to that. And then the latest rumor heating up is maybe Pokemon Stadium 3. And that's more of a wish list thing than a prediction. But man, would I love to see Pokemon Stadium 3.
See, I'd really hate to see Pokemon Stadium 3.
Okay, great.
I mean, it's nothing against the game. It's just I feel like it's something that should have just been a feature of Sword and Shield.
I agree with that, but it is what it is.
I mean, I shouldn't say I would hate to see it. I'll be happy to see it, but I wish we would have seen it as part of Sword and Shield.
But that's really all I expect to see from Pokemon. I think their hands are full with Legend. and I'm okay with that.
Did you just
I am
die?
okay. Yeah,
Okay. Just
yeah,
making
just for
sure.
a second.
Just you're
Uh,
back now though. We're good.
the focus. I think the focus right now is Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus. I don't think Pokemon Stadium's this year. I don't. I think it's summer next year kind of game. Uh,
All right.
and moving on to Nintendo. Obviously, we talked about the Super Switch before E3, but let's talk
The
games. Let's
Super
talk the game.
Nintendo Switch. I'm just gonna keep saying it the whole time, just so you know.
I expect to see a brand new Donkey Kong game.
Super Nintendo Switch.
Super Switch. I expect to see a new Donkey Kong game.
Are
The
you talking like
rumors.
2D Donkey Kong game or like Donkey Kong 64?
I wanted to see Donkey Kong 64 3D style. I think we're getting a 2D game. That's what the rumors are pointing to. Even though it's being developed by the Mario Odyssey team, which either way, you know the worlds are going to look great. I just feel like where is the 3D open world Donkey Kong games? Donkey Kong 64 was a hit. We all loved it. And I'll be fine with a 2K or 2K 2D Donkey Kong game. I
For
will
the
not be
Super
okay with
Nintendo
a
Switch,
2K.
you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be on the regular Switch too, but I'm sure the Super Switch is going to full on utilize that. I don't think any Nintendo games moving forward are going to be a Super Switch exclusive. I don't think that's going to be a thing. I just think some games are going to run really poor without the Super Switch.
Like Hyrule Warriors in the past.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to get some games that look like why can't I think of the game? This is terrible. Open world game came out on Outer Worlds. Jesus. That game was terrible at launch.
I mean, it's still terrible on the Switch.
Like when I watched
But
Pokemon
it might
Legends,
be good on the Super Nintendo Switch.
I talked about this with you. When we watched Pokemon Legends, that original trailer, a lot of people are like, well, that could have been even earlier than what we were, that date from what we were seeing. This game still has time to be developed. This game also could have just been being shown on the regular Switch to not give away.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that.
most of the time that you see a game in development, you're actually seeing a game that's a month or two old in development. And a month or two in gaming, that's a long time in development. Like,
And that's what a lot of people say. That's not a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time.
when
Yeah, we do.
E3 2001 Halo was shown, and to be honest, it didn't look good. It had a lot of problems, and by the time it came out 6 months later, it was amazing.
Right.
Most of the time when you see those preview builds, they're already 2 months old from what the developers are actually doing. So
Right.
yeah, I think that game will look a lot better. I think it looked cool. I think like everything about it looked like, damn, this is something I really wanted for a while. I hope they go really deep with it, and I definitely hope that it takes advantage of the Super Nintendo Switch.
Me too. And I think it is going to be. It's like they're really finally taking a risk with Pokemon. They're really doing what the fans want, and it gives me some Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness or Coliseum kind of vibes, where we're gonna have a serious story. It's gonna be something special. I truly believe that, and the hype is unreal for me there. But so I got the brand new Donkey Kong game. I think they're gonna have a little section dedicated to Zelda 35. I wouldn't be surprised, and I think we're gonna get the Triforce collection finally. I think it's gonna be Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and then I'm torn if the middle game is going to be Majora's Mask or Wind Waker.
No, the Triforce HD collection is going to be the Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, and then the stupid $60 Skyward Sword HD, because they're going to realize their mistake and release it in a pack like it belongs.
I don't think they'll do that.
They better.
They should, but they won't.
All
Breath
for
of
the
Wild
Super
2.
Nintendo Switch.
I think we all know Breath of the Wild 2 has to make an appearance at E3.
Yeah, and I
It's
think it
kind of
does
a
get its
no-brainer.
final name.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2. No.
It's probably Super Legend of Zelda.
I expect to see a Metroid 2D game. A lot of people are pointing to it, and you need to do something for Metroid. I expect to see Metroid 4, but not like gameplay. I expect to see kind of like how they did Breath of the Wild.
No.
Time.
It's time to see Metroid Prime 4 gameplay.
I wish that was the case, but I think truthfully, me being honest, I think they're gonna end up doing what they did pretty much with Breath of the Wild 2 at E3 2019. Is they're just gonna give you that quick 30 seconds glimpse. You're gonna see like in-game footage of the graphics engine. I just don't think you're gonna see a full gameplay breakdown. I understand it's time and it's long overdue, but I'm not sitting here saying what I want. I'm saying here what I think is gonna happen, and just knowing at where they're at with the development process. I mean, I don't know that personally, but just based on how it seems. Listen, I hope I'm completely wrong on that. I really do. But
You are.
all right,
I'm gonna
I'll
will
take
it
it.
into existence like I did with Lost Odyssey 2.
I respect it. I hope you are. I got a new Kirby game. Hopefully they make a good one because
Yeah,
Kirby on the Switch has been shit.
it's been a little while since the last Kirby, hasn't it? You're my Nintendo guy,
Well,
so you better know the damn answer.
well, they made those free Kirby games. Remember
Yeah, no, I mean
the Kirby Fighter, yeah, the Kirby Star Ally game or whatever. I didn't buy it. I've heard shit things because it's shit. I've heard it's only like 15 hours of gameplay and you're done. So I'm good. Uh,
I'm pretty certain I have it.
I've heard actually less than 15. I'm gonna say less than 10, honestly. Actually, from what I heard, I'm good. Uh,
Yeah, that's like 3 years
more,
old now. So
more Splatoon. That's a no-brainer. I feel like also. We saw the glimpse of Splatoon. I expect to see actual gameplay, not just them walking around the world, but actual in-combat gameplay. I want to see what that story mode's all about. I'm very curious. Uh, Animal Crossing New Horizons 2.0. A lot of fans are complaining that Animal Crossing has just not been really giving the support that it had at launch. They're running the same events. The updates are very boring. They're dull. It's time they did something to revise and revisit Animal Crossing and make it more interesting for fans again. It's something they did so good with at launch.
uh
And
yeah, I could definitely appreciate people wanting more of that. I mean the game sold
yeah,
what, 30 million copies? Uh it went on to become like one of Nintendo's best selling single titles of all time. So if people are saying they want, more content, Nintendo better pony up.
absolutely. I got Bayonetta 3 on here. I expect to see gameplay of that actually.
Yeah, I feel like that's a game that just kind of disappeared, right? Like,
Yep. And that one wasn't anything that got scrapped, and it's time for gameplay on that. That it's definitely time for gameplay on 100%. There's no excuses anymore. Smash, obviously, I expect to see the last two Smash characters, and I have been so torn on who I think the characters are gonna be. Uh,
not Sora.
First, no, I am kind of sold on the first one. I think Hunter from Monster Hunter Rise is gonna be one of the characters.
All right.
It's been the most successful third party game on the Switch, and I feel like his move set would be perfect for Smash. You can incorporate the different weapons, and even if you were gonna make the map like how they make a map for every DLC character, have the monsters fighting in the background and shit, different monsters every time, it would be dope. And here's the thing, that last spot, my gut wants to tell me it's Crash, but at the same time, I'm starting to think like maybe they can't get Crash in Smash. And if that's the case, I have a feeling it's going to maybe be one of the Pokemon from Sword and Shield. And I would probably have to guess the Pokemon Urshifu from the first DLC. He's like a fighting type Pokemon.
I would hope that it's not another Pokemon. I would hope that they don't put another, their last character as just another Pokemon. I hope they use their last to represent someone in a franchise that's never been there.
Take it over Fire Emblem. I do think Fighter Pass 3 is going to come out. Masahiro Sakurai talked about retirement in a press conference recently, and he was talking about early retirement. I think this is the Smash to end all Smash, and I think he's gonna want to do one more. Sakurai, he's an awesome. He's awesome at working on games, and he's done phenomenal with Smash, Kirby in the past, and he really loves the fans. You could tell, and I don't know. I would like to see a Fighter Pass 3, but I
I
think
hope so.
definitely I definitely think Hunter from Monster Hunter Rise is almost a lock in my opinion. with the moveset, the success for Monster Hunter on the Switch, it being an exclusive, I can't see where they'd go wrong on that one. But also, not to mention the spirits you could add. There's so many characters that are likable from the game. You could add the spirits for the monsters. You could do so much. It's pretty simplified of a character. I feel like not simplified, but easy to work around. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I expect to see some footage. It's coming out June 25th.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the end of June, right?
Yeah, I put Tony Hawk's gonna be in Smash, but I'm
Just
kidding. You just never know.
You just see Tony Hawk doing 900 and then take the frickin' skateboard and blast Mario on the head with it.
It does a kickflip. It does 20% damage. Yeah, something like that. I think, and then for the big game, I'm really not trying to go crazy with predictions, even though I feel like already what I've said is crazy. But I feel like they're gonna end it with Mario Kart 9. I feel like no matter what, that's the last announcement. I feel like we're due. And I understand Mario Kart 8 is having its success and it's still balling. That's great for Mario Kart 8. Come on, we're due.
Yeah, I want like a Mario Kart universe kind of game.
It needs to happen.
I want a crazy amount of tracks. I want a track editor. I want people to be able to make their own tracks and load them up online. So
a Mario Kart Maker kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like a feature like that though in the game. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think they need to take some ideas from Crash Team Racing too. How like they incorporated this shop where you can get the in-game currency and then you can buy different outfits for the characters and things like that. That's definitely cool. Add some challenges to unlock outfits. It's just time for Mario Kart to really take the next step in customization.
You know what else I would like to see out of the next Mario Kart? When 8 was originally coming out, there was this rumor running around that there was going to be an F-Zero stage that like really played like F-Zero. Like it changed the style of Mario Kart. And it was going to like kind of get people's interest back into the F-Zero series. I would like to see them have some stages that actually offer like dramatic changes to the typical gameplay loop. Stuff where you're, like they've done before, riding up walls, doing more flight. Maybe stages where you're completely flying the whole time. A stage like an F-Zero where you're driving at several hundred miles an hour. There could be a lot of stuff done to make the game even better than it already has been for, I don't know, 25 years since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Mario Kart 9 closer. That makes sense to me.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Mario Party sequel too, even though they did just give it an update. I would like to see them do kind of the same thing with Mario Party and go outside of the Mario realm and bring Nintendo characters into it. I would like to see what they could do with the maps and everything like that. It would be great.
So maybe just a Nintendo Party instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that.
But, we got a crazy 2 weeks ahead of us to figure it all out, right?
Holy and, according to you, I'll know about the Nintendo Super Switch before I wake up. Or by the time I wake up.
Of course. Just sucks, it's going to come out the day after we do the day of the podcast, as a matter of fact, but...
And then we'll have to do another one.
The Super Switch podcast.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And we'll have to say it twice, just like that.
You gotta.
Yeah, obviously.
Tell me that isn't me on the screen, bro.
I don't know. Your eyes are more green to me.
Yeah, I changed them to green. They were blue in that picture, actually. Funny you say that.
Yeah. But you do have big ass-kissing lips like that.
That's what they are. Kissy lips, like a fish. Like a fish.
Yeah. No, it really does. Like, the clothing style, the hair, the glasses, it definitely has a resemblance to you. You might want to add a few pounds to that dude, though.
I can't. If I could, I would.
Alright, so we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow. Well, it's E3, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's been a while.
2 months of not doing one, so I think it's been a pretty solid show, and I hope anyone that listened enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing some more very, very soon. No more 2-month layoffs.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking during E3 and about E3. Maybe even find a way to maybe do some live reactions or something if we're both having the time and we're around. And
Yeah,
but I'm
that would be
sure the
dope.
hype will be. It'll be hard to resist doing podcasts, and we might even squeeze a couple within. You know what I mean? Maybe we could talk about it later, but maybe a segment per presentation.
Yeah, we could definitely give it a shot. Review each
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see no reason not
Instead
to.
instead of like doing hour and a half, 2 hours of everything, maybe 20 minutes of each company. And
Yeah, I like that plan.
yeah, me
Uh,
too.
with that, I'm gonna hop off of here. Me and the missus are gonna jump into HBO land and watch the finale of this awesome show, Mayor of Easttown. I don't know if you saw it yet, but you should definitely check it out. You got HBO Max? Tell me you got
I
HBO
do.
Max.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I do.
check out Mayor of Easttown. The last episode was tonight. We made a mistake of watching it last Sunday because I thought it was over, so we like binged through the whole show, and then it stopped, and I was like, "Yo, hang on, this doesn't feel like an ending," and it wasn't because there was one more episode. So we've been
Oh
waiting the whole
no.
week, and now we're gonna finish it up, and it's gonna be dope because the whole show has been dope. HBO only
Yeah,
knows
my
how to do good shows. That's why I'm excited about The Last of Us.
my lady told me today she wants to start watching Lost again. I was like, yeah, it's been about a month and a half. I could rewatch it.
I created a monster.
I know. You're
Uh,
not lying.
all
Show's
right, man.
addictive.
Red Cloud Gamer is signing off.
All right, Green Sween out too.